Welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, right at 7:30, a little bit fast, 7:30 on the East Coast. So happy to have you with me this evening. Got a little stuck doing some more work, but I'm still doing it. So still good. We're still doing it. That's all. And we'll keep going. So yes, tonight, there were so many things I wanted to talk about. And I thought one of the things that popped up for me was some RFK Jr. stuff. I haven't done much stuff on RFK Jr. since he's gone to HHS. And I thought this piece was important because now we have to start looking back, right? And saying, is he right? Was this right? Are we happy with what's happening? And a lot of people are dealing with some other things. I thought this one was the right one to chat about today. And by the way, as you know, I'm trying to have more guests on tomorrow. If you are around tomorrow, I will have on scientist and author Mark Changizi talking about the far right and the far left woke. Oh, something I'm sure many of you will enjoy. So please jump on that tomorrow if you have time to do so. I would appreciate it tremendously. But RFK Jr. recently did an interview. He did an interview with Sean Hannity on Fox, of course, because there's no way CNN or MSNBC would ever have him on except to, I don't know, yell at him or something, blame children dying on him or something like that. They would never just have that would never happen. So I kind of want to cover that, chat about that, because some of the things that they were talking about and things that were said there are kind of important. So let's start from there and move on, if you don't mind. Let's start from there and then move on. All righty, here. Let me see if I can find this. Here we go.
All right, so the movement to make America healthy again is underway, led by Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
And this is the piece that I'm still pretty happy about in general, and that is the unity ticket that Trump tried to put together. And of course, many Democrats are mad and go, that's not a unity ticket. He didn't put any Democrats on there. Well, RFK Jr. is literally Democrat. I mean, he was Democrat. He was. So there are some, without question, far more unity than the other ticket was. And MAHA is still a thing, right? Make America Healthy Again is still a thing. Let's hope it stays a thing. It's still a thing. Not just that. The libertarians are trying to stay together, but that Massey thing, we'll see how that works. But so there's still some type of unity. So I'm happy to hear this. And I'm happy to see again MAHA. People saying MAHA's dead. No, MAHA's on Fox. It's not dead yet. Let's hope not, but definitely not dead yet.
Earlier over the weekend. Today he met with leaders of America's largest food companies, which might have been a little bit awkward considering Secretary Kennedy is encouraging them, has been outspoken in terms of highly processed foods and ingredients that are allowed in them. Some companies are already taking steps on their own to move.
And this part is what I love. It's what I talked about when people got mad at me for talking about RFK Jr. so much. Why are you talking about him so much? Because I said this was going to happen. If he can make any change, particularly voluntarily, and this is what's happening so far, this makes it good for all of us, for companies and people and organizations to make changes voluntarily. Way better, right? Way better. If we're going to regulate, and we are, I would much rather have the system regulate itself than have government regulate, if at all possible. It isn't always possible. I get that. But as a general rule, there are a couple of examples of it working relatively well, right? You look at the movie industry with the, rating themselves. It hasn't been bad. It could be, look, there's problems, but way better than government stepping in and deciding what is censored and what isn't, right? Better than to do it than the government do it. The government would have been worse. Gaming industry, meaning video games, similar situation, right? Better than a government coming and go, your kids can't do this, your kids can't do that. Much better. So if I can get the industry to do it effectively, I'd rather if I had that opportunity.
Move towards healthier options. Now, if you haven't been to Steak and Shake, you got to go. I had 2 double burgers and they were phenomenal. Their fries were phenomenal.
Now, some of you asked me when I ran for governor, what will be one of my main jobs? And I said, I do many things as governor right now. One of the things I would do is I'll be an advocate for the state. An advocate for the state. I will be the chief marketing officer for the state, right? And you might go, really? Yes, that was important. Yes. Now, here's the difference. If you hear our current governor, Kathy Hochul, talk, all she talks about, and I'm not joking, you've seen me do it multiple times on this show, all she talks about is government and government workers. That's it. That's all she talks about. She doesn't know about the local businesses doing it. Never talks about them. Doesn't go there. Doesn't care. Not important. She's not the chief marketing officer for the state. Why would you come here? Why would you come here? I would be the chief marketing officer. How do you know that? Every single event I do, I support some local business. I've done hundreds of them. Now, I have no money of the power that Kathy Hochul has, but imagine if I did. I will be telling people, come here, and I will talk about you on TV and stuff. I will go on Sean Hannity, or I'll go on Rachel Maddow, and I'll talk about New York State businesses. When has she done that? When did Cuomo do it? Never. Never. Now, RFK Jr. is making it so that if you do what he would like you to do, what happens? You get free advertising on Fox News. Larry, that's unfair. That's utterly fair and the right thing. I tell you guys all the time, businesses aren't evil. They are apathetic. They don't care how they get what they want. How many times have I told you? You know what we can do? We can sell lease naming rights to bridges out. They'll never do that. Yes, they will. They don't care where they get the business from. Just give them the business. They don't care where they get their advertising from. The New York Post and now Fox News. Fine. If it costs them more, and probably does, to use the whatever, tallow or whatever they're using versus using the oil, they just made it up in marketing. They made it up in marketing. If you incentivize them to do the right thing, they will do the right thing. Not because they care, because they don't, but because it makes sense. Incentives, specifically for businesses, really work. This is a perfect example of that.
Recently announced that they will be frying their French fries in beef tallow rather than seed oils. So I caught up with the secretary at one of the Florida locations of Steak and Shake for a wide-ranging interview. Let's play part one. Thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. Before you got here, I already had a burger, so I'm having enough. I'm breaking my diet. I am pretty much full on keto.
See that? Sean Hannity's full on keto, because keto is magic. It's very easy for me to accept keto as magic, by the way. This is how you do it. In case you want to make something magic, here's how you do it. Anytime something good happens, you say it's because of that thing. Anytime something bad happens, you say it's not because of that thing. Done. Magic. That's how it works. So you can make anything about magic. I've just made keto magic. If I have a problem, not because keto. Anything good happens to me, because keto. Now I've made it magic. Kind of simple, just so you guys know. If any of you are concerned, that's how it works.
I eat basically meat and eggs. I made an exception today. I had it on a bun, and I really enjoyed it, actually. And it was really good. Explain the difference between seed oil and tallow and why this is a big deal. Why they said we're going to RFK Steak and Shake.
They said they're going to RFK Steak and Shake. Come on. Come on. That's brilliant, right? Whatever marketing guys they had at Steak and Shake, whether it was the CEO or marketing team, just like, well done. Like whatever, yeah, well done. That was a very good marketing ploy. That worked perfectly. That got RFK to talk about you and come and now you got whatever, all these people to come. You can guarantee, I mean, to be forward, the audience of Fox News is, I think, one of the oldest. The average is like 70 or something like that. So it's one of the oldest. Like most of them are over 60. I think they're the oldest. I think the average is like 70. So there's a lot of older people who retired. They're going to Steak and Shake now. They're going to have a burger and some fries. Yes, you can guarantee that's going to happen because they saw Sean Hannity and RFK Jr. do it. And like, hey, America, go get me a steak and fries. That's going to happen, right? And you can laugh at it if you want to. You know it's true. Steak and Shake loves it. Everybody's happy.
Processed foods and seed oil is one of the components of processed foods. And that is, all the science indicates that ultra-processed foods are what are the principal culprit in this extraordinary explosion, the epidemic we have of chronic disease. When my uncle was president, 3% of Americans had chronic disease. Today, 60% do.
From 3 to 60%. from 3 to 60%. This piece is important. And I know people are going to say, but he's crazy, or he's this, or he's that. It does not matter. It doesn't matter if he's crazy or he's whatever. It's irrelevant. I would ask any of you who don't like him and don't want him around. Okay, I get it. You don't have to like him. Not required. But hold on. What was the answer before he walked into this spot? Let me tell you. More pills. That was the answer. And if he wasn't here, the answer would be more pills. And in your heart of hearts, if you're listening to this and you don't like him, and I get it, people don't like him. You don't have to like him. But in your heart of hearts, you know that if he wasn't here right now, the answer for Americans would be more pills, more big pharma, more pills, more unhealthy Americans. Now, you may not like keto either. You're wrong because it's magic. I've discussed the magicness already, so it is magic. We know this. But anyway, you may not like it. But whether you like it or not, Sean Hannity just said on Fox News, he's full on keto. He said full on keto in front of an audience of 70-year-old Americans, guaranteed at least 50% of them have chronic disease. At least, if not 75% of chronic disease. He just said that. That doesn't happen with RFK Jr. That doesn't happen without RFK Jr. I want to be clear on that. It does not happen. What happens without RFK Jr., why this appointment that so many people were like, he's crazy, don't do it, blah, 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 blah. All of those self-righteous people who did that don't understand that without him doing this right now, the only answer is more pills, more pharma, unhealthy people. And you may be having a grandma who lives till 80, maybe, but she can't come see you because she can't leave her home. Or she can't come see you because she's got dementia. Or because now people, by the way, dementia, they're calling it type 3 diabetes. I'm not making that up. Do your own homework. Dementia is now being called type 3 diabetes. Does that mean, Larry, that keto can stop diabetes? Yes, it's magic. We've discussed this. Yes. Keto can literally stop diabetes. Yes. That's what I'm saying. You think I'm joking? I am not.
We have 66% of adults are diabetic or pre-diabetic, 38% of teens. When you and I were kids, Sean, the average pediatrician would see one case of juvenile diabetes in his lifetime over a 40 or 50-year career. Today, 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his office door is diabetic or pre-diabetic.
1 out of every 3 kids is diabetic or pre-diabetic. And tens of millions of self-righteous people were yelling to not have this man be head of HHS because vax or whatever thing there's or whatever. I don't care. Don't care. The vast majority of you who are watching, listening right now would have never heard what I just told you without him running or being HHS Secretary. You'd never heard it. You'd not known. You would have thought your kid is the only kid who's got diabetes or is pre-diabetic. You would have heard only, oh, no, it's just my kid. No. It's millions of kids. It's just my grandpa that is, has dementia and I can't go visit him anymore because I can't remember my damn name. Just my grandma. No, it's millions of them. Millions of them. And the best part about this, is at no point is he talking about forcing people to do anything. This is why, as a libertarian, I'm good with this. Because if the Democrats or Republicans actually thought he was correct and want to take action on it, excuse me, theirs would be law upon law upon law upon law. How do I know that? Larry, you making this up? No, because I have a mayor here in New York, Mayor Adams. He's a vegan. So in his view, veganism is the right answer. I'm not mad at him for it. I mean, he's wrong because obviously keto's magic. We've covered this. But that's okay. I don't mind if you're a vegan vegetarian. Enjoy. You do you. That's how I am. You do you. He believes that. What did he do? He made a rule in New York City to have meatless Mondays. He used the law to force people. What if I don't want meatless Mondays? What if I want a keto kid? Now, I have no problem with Adams preaching it, saying it, believing veganism is the awesome thing in the world. None at all. I'm happy he should be able to. He won an election. He has the bully pulpit. Tell everybody how awesome veganism is. No worries. Enjoy. Don't use the law. And he did. And he did. And Bloomberg tried too. Bloomberg, if you remember, said he's going to outlaw sodas over 16 ounces. Now, do I think it's a good idea to not have them? Yes, I think having tons of sugary drinks is a terrible idea. Would I use law to force you? No. If you want to have lots of soda, please enjoy lots of soda because you choose to. But if I have a bully pulpit, I'm going to tell you, you shouldn't. I get to say you shouldn't. I don't get to stop you. And that's what he's doing now. Saying, I think you shouldn't. Here's why. Let's be transparent, giving you options. If you say, Larry, I don't give a damn about tallow in my French fries. Go to McDonald's. You good. They don't do it. Enjoy. If you go, no, Larry, I do care. Then go to the Steak and Shake. You good. You now got options. Now you're going to say, Larry, I like that. Me too. And if you like that, then do me a favor. Click the button that says you do. Lima, India, Kilo, Echo, Mala, not Maha, Mala, make America. Click the like button again. Do it again and again. Do it, please. Shelley says Mala means bad in Spanish. No bueno. So yeah, she's kind of right. It's true. Yeah, it does work. Yeah. Anyway, so I think you'll do that if you would, and not just that. Please, if you would, share or repost this someplace else. If you haven't clicked the like button, what you're saying is you want children to have diabetes. That's what you're saying. If you don't click the like button, you are saying I want children to have diabetes. What's wrong with you? Don't say that. Click the button. Share it. If you have not subscribed yet on YouTube, why do you hate children? Do it. Subscribe and make sure you click all notifications. Make sure you're following me on X and Facebook and Rumble if you would. You can always super chat me if you want your chats to go right to the front. Super chat me on YouTube or rant me on Rumble. Either of them, go right to the front. If you're saying, Larry, I wish you'd stop being late. I wish you'd show up every single night at 7 like you say. You're right. I should. You're right. But sadly, like all of you, I got bills to pay. I got to work. Like all of you do too. I'm sure you got bills to pay. I'm a big fan of paying bills. Please pay your bills. How do I make that work? Well, I can if more of you become members. $49 per month. Click that join button. The more people who join, the more I can do this. And I don't have to go grab a sponsor. And then I start talking trash with sponsors. And I can maybe stop monetizing these things. I have to monetize them too. Some of you get mad. I saw another ad. That's because we don't have enough members. Solves the problem. Anyway, if you can, please do so. If you are on Rumble, you can do so also at Rumble by clicking the subscribe button during the live. Click the join button during the YouTube, and you can do that. It's all great. We are also having, by the way, our membership show. The memberships will be on the show. It is coming up here. Hold on, I put it up. If you look, if those of you are members, you click on the post, and there's a members only section that's there. You look at that, and you will see when that is. And I believe, if I did it right, hold on, the membership show, I think is, where is it? And now, of course, I can't find it. I'm a liar. Hold on. Am I a liar? Let me find my post. The membership show is, oh, I see it. Yes. Friday, March 21st. 9 days from now. Friday, March 21st is going to be the membership show. If you are a member, head on over there to where the post over there, the post on YouTube, and let me know you want to be on there. Some people have already asked. I'm going to grab 3 people, and they'll be on that show. And we'll talk about whatever we want to talk about. It'll be something cool, I'm sure. I mean, it might not be, but it probably will. All right, I've yapped away, as I always do. Let me grab a couple comments before I keep going, and then we'll move on from there. Kim, how are you? Thank you for being a member. RFK will see to it that we get answers and results. He knows where to find the numbers and how to accurately read the studies. This part, Kim, is you're so on the money. You are so on the money with this. RFK Jr. has sued the government multiple times. He's read all the studies. He knows how to read them. He knows when to full of it. You're correct. And on top of it, Trump has given him a deadline, 2 years. He has to come back with results within 2 years. So he is now under a deadline, as he should be. That's Fair, utterly fair. And he knows it, utterly fair. So he's going to go through that. He'll have 2 years to come back with what's going on. But the best part is you're already seeing changes. You are correct, Kim. I'm glad you said that. Patty says, hey, Patty, our food is subpar, lacks nutrient, is contaminated, and fake. Yes, 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 and yes. All of those things true. But here's the difference. He is now talking about it openly on TV, in the press, everywhere. So now, Patty, what you've known for years, and most of your neighbors, I would bet, either don't get or haven't really connected with it, are now going to be like, Patty's right. It's true. And what I want to do, which is what I keep hoping, and what I hope he's going to do, is not just do, for those of you who hang around people who are wealthy and healthy, if you hang around any of those people, you will see what they buy and how they buy. And Patty, you and I both know they don't buy from the local store. They don't buy from the Walmart. They don't. They buy the healthiest, best food they can find. Of course they do, because they're healthy and wealthy. If you're wealthy and you care about health, that's how you buy. Of course you do. Yes, I would like it. So everybody has the option to buy healthy. Now, look, if you don't care and you don't mind buying the cheapest, nutrient lacking food that tastes great, I'm not here to stop you. I'm not. I don't care, Larry. That's stupid. I want to buy the cool stuff with the coloring in it that tastes good. Okay, do it. Not mad at you for it. But I want you to know better. That's it. I want you to know better. And you'll make your choice. That's all. I'm looking over at Rumble, and Joel says, I'm told the book, The Real Anthony Fauci by RFK, is an eye-opening read. It is. I have the book. Yes, it is. That is an accurate statement, Joel. Excuse me. It absolutely is. So, Macho Nacho over on Instagram says, I hope Maha succeeds because I need RFK to forcefully cut my consumption of Red 40. Well, he kind of did. Now you're going to have to go someplace else to get Red 40. You could probably order it, Macho, if you want to chug some. I mean, you probably could. I would assume you could if you wanted to. So, yes. Macho says, goes on, the last time the government tried to butt in the rating systems, the glorious Dee Snider of Twisted Sister presented music as a whole to prevent such rating. Represented music as a whole to prevent such a rating. Oh, yes. And I think yes, your point's very well taken. I do not want government to do this. I agree. Chuck on Long Island. Also, Instagram is popping tonight. All people would have done is buy 2 sodas. Correct, Chuck. It was dumb. And let me go one step further with this New York City thing. Why am I so against it? The reality is we as Americans, as humans, should not forcefully, should not have a whole lot of sugary drinks. It's not good for us. I think most people would agree we should not. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to order you to. You have a right to enjoy what you want to enjoy. But I think most people would say, should I have, 64 ounces of sweet sugary soda every day? Most people would say, nah, you probably shouldn't. Right, of course. Now, people did know that. But what happened, Chuck, if you remember, if you were in the city at that time? I was. People were purposely buying more soda to go to hell. So people were being less healthy to tell Bloomberg, go to hell. Now, what you also might notice is what was starting to happen at that time, because the data that Bloomberg was talking about was accurate data, meaning if you give people smaller portions and options, many times people will take them. But if you don't give them that, they take the higher one. If you say you want to supersize that or you make it bigger, they often take it, right? So people will often react to what you provide them. It's a common thing. So if you provide them with smaller options, more people will take them voluntarily without you having to force them. He's correct. The data is correct. So don't force them, was my point. So what was happening? They were making those small cans. Some of you remember those small cans. They were making them. They stopped because people got mad. They wouldn't buy the small cans anymore. So already people were starting to move towards the smaller cans, recognizing maybe I shouldn't have a full soda. I like soda. I don't want a full soda. I'm going to have a small one. People were just saying on their own because they wanted to. That was delayed 10 or 15 years. I'm not making that up. It was delayed 10 or 15 years. Realistically, Americans being able to openly and easily just go, I'm going to go with the smaller soda because I choose to. He made things worse by ordering it. Chuck is correct. It is a bad idea. It doesn't work. It's a terrible idea. You don't want to force people. Give them better options. And then I'll give you one last option here. One last example here in New York City. If you go back about 30 years or so, you would have struggled to find a vegan restaurant in New York City. I mean, like, vegan restaurant, do we have any? Is there one? I don't know. I'm probably down there, blah, blah, blah. And nobody said, I order you to have less meat. No one ordered anybody. But a lot of people started thinking, I should have less meat. They're wrong, because again, keto's magic, but it doesn't matter. People started thinking, hey, maybe I shouldn't have so much red meat. Maybe I shouldn't eat so much meat. Maybe it's better for the planet. Maybe it's better for me, better for the animals, whatever the reason is. And vegan restaurants began to explode. And you can find vegan restaurants all around New York City, everywhere. And so many restaurants will have a vegan option. There was no law. This was people making the choice. I'm totally good with that. Totally good with that. So anyway, I yapped away, but again, none of this is even happening if RFK Jr. isn't in the race and then HHS Secretary. That's the point of my rant, period. That is the point. Yes. Christopher says, RFK is only saying that millions have known for years, but also acting on it. He's about common sense, and I back him 100%. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. All right.
Diabetes and other mitochondrial diseases are now costing America more than our military budget.
I want you to hear that again. Our healthcare is costing more than our military budget. And what has been the Republican answer prior to this? Nothing. What was Democratic answer prior to this? In talk, Medicare for all. In practice, nothing. So the answer for both of them was nothing. The answer in talk for the Democrats was, we'll just give you more pills. But you'll be able to afford the pills now because the government will pay for the pills. So the Democratic answer in talk, not in practice, was government will pay for pills. But for both of them, their actual answer was, I guess more pills, whatever. Now we have to start thinking about it. Again, this is a good part.
We spend 2 to 3 times on healthcare what other countries do, and we have the worst outcomes. And we have the best medical system in the world. We are poisoning ourselves, and it's coming from principally these ultra processed foods. And what we're trying to do, and this President Trump wants us to have radical transparency and to incentivize companies like this one.
To incentivize companies to do the right thing. Because RFK Jr. recognizes that companies aren't inherently evil. Again, they are inherently apathetic. They don't care if they harm you. Don't get me wrong. They're not going, oh, I care so much if I harm Shelley. They don't. So we have to incentivize them to not harm Shelley. And then they won't.
To switch to traditional ingredients like beef tallow.
Oh, by the way, here you go.
Here's just take the red mask. I'll take those trades back for you.
Oh, okay. Is that?
This is you, Sean.
Oh, this is me. Okay, thank you.
And Secretary, this is for you. All right.
Look at that.
Thank you. You didn't pick up my Coke, did you?
Huh? Get your Coke. I got you,
Miss Small with the little ice.
Okay.
But I'm not going to drink
See, he wants the small one because he can do it in front of him.
it all because he's going to yell at me. I'm only kidding.
And Steak and Shake just switched out, and people are raving about these French fries. You taste them.
They're
I taste
amazing.
them.
They really are. I'm not.
Now look at all this free publicity Steak and Shake's getting. Just well done. Like I gotta recognize the marketing game here. Now you may say I don't like Steak and Shake. Whatever. Maybe you don't. I don't go there either. To be fair with you, I don't have burgers and fries. I'm on keto because magic. So I'm on keto, so I don't go there. But doesn't matter. I can still recognize that this is great. So Kim says Maha is bulletproof. Oh, I hope you are right. You have no idea how much I hope you're right. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
When I was a kid, I traveled in Europe. Europe is great, always had great food. The French fries were always a disappointment because we had the best French fries here. They had pommes frites over there, and they just didn't taste right. Today, the best French fries in the world are in Europe. I order them every time I go to Belgium or France or any place else. And the French fries here just don't taste right. And you tasted these, it's a completely different experience. And the customers are raving about it.
And that's the point. If the customers like it, good. They'll eat more of it. Good for the restaurant chain. Good for them. But again, if you don't like it, Burger King, McDonald's, right there. Take the ones you like.
Other companies, Steak and Shake has been great. We're very grateful for them for RFK, the French fries. They turned me into a verb. But also Popeyes.
By the way, a plastic straw. Thank you. Thank God. I can't stand those paper straws. I hate them.
You hate the sea turtles, right? But Popeyes, Outback, Sweet Greens, Buffalo Wild
Wings.
Yeah, they've all made the switch, or they're in the transition to making this.
I didn't even know that till I heard that there, right? They're all making a switch. Again, they're making a switch. Now, some people won't, and that's fine. Now we have choice. How is that bad? It's exactly the right answer. None of this happens without him.
Switch. We want to do everything that we can to incentivize these companies to be transparent, to switch over from ultra processed food, and to be part of this movement to make America healthy again.
As Health and Human Services Secretary, and there is great paranoia and fear. You're going to force people. You're going to take things away from people. You're going to force companies to do what, this Steak and Shake is freely decided to do.
I want to bring this up. What if some of that's true? So far, it hasn't. What if it is? What if he forces them to get rid of Red 40? He didn't. The FDA did it before he got there. But what if he had done something like that? I'm going to force you to stop that. You might go, Larry, that's authoritarian. True. You might go, Larry, I don't like that. I get it. But what's the alternative? I'm going to tell you what the alternative is. To be very clear, more pills. Everyone who's like, well, the Democrats want this, Republicans wanted that. Republicans at least embraced him. Okay. Democrats' answer was more pills, and we'll talk about Medicare for all. We won't do that. We'll just talk about that, meanwhile giving you more pills. But we'll talk about Medicare for all. And then maybe one day we'll have the government pay for your pills. But that's it. That's the answer. Now we have an actual answer. We have something. So, yes, looking over, if I could, at Rumble, Mr. Just Because, who is also the lunatic libertarian. Oh, you snuck over to Rumble. I love that. Sneaking to Rumble, not a bad idea. Here, America equals one language-ish, maybe. True. No skill set. Entitled, ignorant, programmed, etc. Americans are programmed secular imbeciles. Wow. Okay. You're serious. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I get what you're saying. But I probably could mention other countries, except the language thing. The language, you're on the money with that one. Yeah, you're on the language of money you're on the money with the language. That's true. Americans, we only want one language. You get mad at that. That's accurate. The rest, I'm not sure. I could see it in other places. I could, but thank you for the $10, my friend. I appreciate you popping up. I always appreciate you coming. So thanks for that.
That's not the case.
Oh, I mean, I'm a libertarian outlook. People should be able to make their own choices. If you want to eat a donut or
okay, I want to be clear. He said the phrase libertarian. What other HHS Secretary Director would have used that phrase? There's not one other one who would have ever used that phrase. Not a thing. Not a thing. He did.
Seed oils, you should be able to. You should be able to exercise informed choice. You should know what that product is, what's in your food, and what the health impacts are. And that's all we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to incentivize we're going to incentivize companies to be transparent. And we're going to inform Americans about what's making them sick. Nobody wants to be sick.
I don't want to be sick. Why is, okay.
That's why he's on keto.
Tallow,
magic.
Seed oil. But then there are other healthy oils, like, for example, avocado oil.
Well, yeah. Let me. Macho Nacho over on Instagram says that's why RFK Jr. is the GOAT. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I'm very satisfied. That's what I say. I'm very happy with him compared to anybody else we would have gotten. And people were like, Larry, why are you as a libertarian? Why are you so talking so good about RFK Jr.? Because this was literally the best we were going to get in HHS. I'm not making that up. Literally the best we can get. There was no one who was going to even come close. And not just the best we were going to get, the best we were going to get by leaps and bounds. Like it was all the rest of the chumps who were just mind-numb robots, all of them who just would have been like, more pills and more pills. So pill mill masses, lots of space, RFK Jr. Yeah, maybe libertarians about that. I'm going to Thomas Massey up here. That's fine. I'm just saying. Massive between all the knuckleheads we would have gotten besides him. This is leaps and bounds better. Not even close. And say, but he's crazy. You're just mad because your pill mill person didn't win. Your person who had no answer didn't win. You're just mad because your person who was going to talk about Medicare for all, maybe might have talked about it, not done anything, but might have talked about it, didn't win. But this is a much better choice. I'm happy to say that openly without any much better choice.
Is considered healthy, or olive
Or
oil,
butter.
butter.
Let's say that he's wrong. That he wants the companies to move to butter or tallow. And let's say he's wrong. Let's say butter is bad. It's not. But let's say it is. Butter's bad. And someone goes to butter and then goes to butter and it's not that good. Larry, look, butter we found out wasn't good. Okay, everything before that's terrible. So he made one mistake, but some people went to tallow. So we had an option of no change at all or tallow. Didn't get worse. Didn't get worse. There's no lose here. There's the same garbage or better. I'm only seeing better so far.
Or straight,
Olive oil, right.
but my daughter, who's like you, she went into my house a couple of years ago and she like wiped out the smart balance, wiped out the margarine, wiped out any seed oil.
Good for her.
And she cleaned out my whole pantry and she bought me the things that she said, Daddy, this is much better because I like to cook.
And she wants you to live for a long time.
I want to live for a long time.
Me too.
That's why I watch my weight. I watch what I eat.
That's why he's keto magic, as we said. Let me grab some more of these if I could. The AC says they're still fries though. Correct. I'm not eating them, but I'm just saying. Like now, hold on. If I was governor of New York and there was some company that was going to tallow or something in my town or something, I'm gonna break my keto lifestyle and I'm gonna eat the damn fries. Telling you straight up. I will break it and eat the fries, and I'll eat the burger with the bread, and I don't eat bread. I'll eat the bread. I'll eat the rice. I'll eat all of the starches if I'm going to support some business in New York State. I would do it. And I'm saying straight up, Larry, you're going to sell out your keto lifestyle for New York State business? Yes. 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 Sell it right out. Yes. Wouldn't even think twice. So some guys, whatever, doing, I don't know, a chicken and rice joint, and it's doing something special in New York, and I got to go there and promote them, I'm eating the rice. It's fine. I'll work out extra later. It's fine. I'll work out. I'll do a 5K the next week or something. Whatever. I'm doing it. So you're right, AC. I'm not eating them, but in this case, I would eat them. It's true. Paula says you are definitely an advocate for New York State businesses, especially small ones. That's what I'm saying. If there's some local place that's whatever, doing the chicken and rice or the burger or whatever, or the noodles, guess I'm eating noodles. That's all I'm saying. 100%. Phil says, Fox News is one of the largest news stations. Free press on there is huge. My pillow got big because he was able to get in front of a lot of people for cheap. My pillow got big. Oh, you got the My Pillow guy. Oh, that's right. Yes. My Pillow. You're right. Got big. You're right. Correct. Absolutely. Yes. Michael Villa says, make French fries great again. Well, yeah, there we go. I do like that. That's actually pretty good. Yes. So Mr. Just Because is back on. Thank you so much for the $1. Petroleum healthcare is not your friend. Discard the program the last 120 years. Diet, workout, train your brain. Cannabis, no drug war. Brother, I cannot fight you with any of that. Look, you should do as you see fit, as I always say. I can only talk for myself here. And I do speak for myself constantly, as I do. And what I'm saying here is I don't go to a doctor unless there is a serious issue. Like I haven't gone, I go to a doctor so that I can have a checkup for when I run. So I have health records. So I go to a doctor every 4 years, do a full physical, and that's it. Then I'm done. And I'm going other than that. If I sprained my ankles, I'm going to the doctor. Cut myself, didn't go to the doctor. I just, to your point, I diet, I work out, I train my brain. I don't use cannabis though. That one I don't use. I'm utterly square. For those of you who don't know, I'm totally square. You do not see me, I don't drink, I don't smoke, don't do cannabis, none of that stuff. I don't. But he's right. No drug war. Let people do as they see fit. If cannabis is what helps you, if cannabis is the product that works for you, please use it as you see fit. That is my view. No war. He's correct in everything. Yes, yes, and yes. He goes on for the $2. Mass production is always the issue for the non-producer, the dependent. Not you saying mass production is an issue. I agree. But I'm not necessarily, okay, let me, it's a little bit off topic, but I'll bring it up. Mass production does make things cheaper. And I'm not necessarily against that in theory, as long as people have choice. Sometimes people want cheap goods. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you're someone who cares a lot about the quality of your clothes. Matters to you tremendously. You may not want mass production clothes because most mass produced clothes is not very high quality. You might want some tailor-made or special, or even vintage or older clothes that was made. You might want that. But I'm not here to judge you for you to decide what you think is most important to you. You may be like, I don't care, it's a shirt. I don't care if I throw it out in 2 years, I'm going to buy a new shirt. I don't care. And again, so I'm not against mass production as long as people understand that there is a price to pay for that too. And I think what you're saying. There's a price to pay for mass production, right? There's a price to pay for that. And as long as you understand that price you're paying for mass production, I'm okay with it. You should decide what's important to you, right? So yes, but I don't want to diss it. I don't want to diss it. So my VA lady over on says Larry drinks coffee. Correct. Lots of it every day. That is my drug. My drug is caffeine. So yes, I do have a drug I use, which is caffeine. Correct. So good point. Guilty as charged. I'm looking over now. Oh, I see Garrett coming in strong, gifted the Sharpe Way membership. Remember our rule. If you made $10 million this week, you may not take the free membership. So if any of you got $10 million this week, you have to buy it. Pay the $4.99. If you did not make $10 million, you may take the gifted membership. Thank you again, Garrett, for hooking us up. I appreciate it tremendously. You are killing it. Thank you. Yes. Joel says, Big Pharma pays better than Big Tallow. This is why people sometimes tease me and they say, Larry, why do you keep running? Why do you keep doing this? And I say, because I'm an ideologue. I say, what? I say, I'm an ideologue. I am. I'm an ideologue. Do you think do you think people haven't tempted me to sell out? All the time. Do you think the Republican Party in New York State wouldn't love to have me on their team? Of course they would. Of course they would. Do you think people haven't tried to get me to sell out? Of course they have. Why don't I? Because I'm an ideologue. I'm pushing something, right? The other guy you see right next to me, RFK Jr., he's an ideologue. Sometimes you need those people. Sometimes you're a person who's just a damn true believer. You just need one. It's a true believer who will push through all the garbage. Why do you think so many people run one time and then never run again? And why does this idiot, the one I'm pointing at myself. Why does this idiot keep running? Why do I keep trying? Because I'm an ideologue. So yes, Big Pharma pays better than Big Tallow, but he didn't care. So he thought, I'll get them to pay me a different way. I'll sue them. Now, I wish I could do that. I tried suing. Didn't work. So maybe I need him as my lawyer. My suing did not work. His suing did. So yeah, I think it would be better if he did that. Yeah. All right. Thank you for that, Joel. I appreciate it. Mr. Just Because, you are just cranking it. All right. $5 says mass production has got us here. Ultra processed food. Valid point. Valid point. Mass production medical procedures. You must fit the label, title, category. No. See, that's not always true. Mass-produced medical procedures, again, can be okay, particularly when you're at a point where you need something done versus nothing. Again, so I'm not against mass production, but your point's a valid one. The problem I have with the ultra-processed food piece is ultra-processed food sometimes valuable? I would say yes, specifically in the cases of I have people who are literally starving in other parts of the world, and I want to get them caloric intake so they don't die. And that is a thing. That is a problem we have. If you're saying, look, I have to make ultra-processed food because it's got to travel, whatever, 7,000, 10,000, 12,000 miles. I can't refrigerate the entire time. It's got to be ultra-processed. But these people are like maybe in a war-torn country or something, and they're literally starving to death. Give them ultra-processed food. They will at least live until we can get them to a place where they can have better food, better health care, all those things, right? So I think there's a place for that kind of thing, right? There is a place for it. But your point's, again, valid. Lunatic, it's valid. We don't want the average person, particularly in America, you as an average American, ultra-processed food should not be the norm for you. It is for many. It should not be. Again, you're in, Sudan, where they're having a civil war and people are starving to death. Take the ultra-processed food or you're starving to death. Get it out there, feed the people until they can end this stupid war. Well, now it ended, but end the dumb war. No, actually, Sudan now has their own civil war. South Sudan is now actually safe now, which is weird. But anyway, besides the point. Then I'm okay. So I think there are times when you could use that. He goes on. You got something to say today, Lunatic. All right. Another $1. Appreciate it. Mass agriculture, mass convenience, mass compliance. Not free, no liberty unless you're willing to die for it. Accurate again. But if people don't, as you and I have talked about before, Lunatic, people have to see hope. If they don't see hope, they're not willing to die. They're not willing to die for a maybe, a could be, whatevs. It's not. They're not willing to do that. They'll just stay in poverty. They'll stay in misery. They'll stay in bad spots. But when they actually see some hope, then they go, oh, yeah, okay, let's do this. So you've got to provide them with what's the alternative? What's the plan? And one of the things you find that the Democratic Republican Party has done consistently is provide no hope. Just stay where you are, which is why I keep trying to provide hope. It doesn't always work, but I do keep trying. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. So Peace Logic in the house. Thank you for the $2. We should all be thankful that we have Bobby at HHS. Accurate statement, my friend. Accurate statement. We should all be happy. I know some people are pissed off. It's fine. You can be angry if you want to. Still right. So, yes. Still right. Yes. So, Christine's clapping. Thank you. AC says, love keto. Yes. Me too. Yep. Andrea says, ooh, it's magic. It is. Ooh, it's magic. Yes, it is. Correct. Yes. Paula says, America can't afford these chronic conditions. Even if everything was private sector, the loss of productivity is killing American businesses. Yes. I see it where I live, work, and volunteer. How in the world can we fix this country if 60% of the people in it are sick? Bobby says something very important. He says, when you, all Americans have dreams, but when you are chronically ill, you only have one dream: to not be chronically ill. So how can you become better? This is to Lunatic Libertarian, to his, right? Mr. Just Because over on Rumble, to him too, right? If All I see is I'm in pain. I'm hurting. I just want to not be in pain anymore. You don't have hope for anything. You're not going to do anything. You're not going to make that jump. Not going to do it. People don't do it. You've got to not be chronically ill and go, I see a future. I see hope. I care about my kids or my community or my family or my grandkids if I'm older or whatever. I care about the group of people around me that I love. I will do the thing required. So yes, completely get that. I do appreciate that completely. All right. See if I can do this real fast. All righty. Phil says he's the Jack LaLanne. That's cute. I like that, Phil. That's also true. Kate John, thank you so much for $10. If you don't buy grass-fed / finished meat, these are conventional. These are inconventional. Glyphosate, pyrethroids, did I get that right? Antibiotics, estrogen, testosterone, arsenic, lead, GMO grains, animal byproducts. You're worth the extra dollars. Now, let's be clear about this, Kajan. I agree with you completely. To be forward with you, that's all I buy. I've been very forward about that. I say it often. You don't see me buying an expensive watch. I don't have an expensive car. I don't have flashy clothes. I don't care about those things. To be forward, I used to. And it's true. I'm going to sit here and pretend like I was always this way. I was not. If you see me years ago, every suit I owned, every suit I wore was literally a custom-made suit. Every shirt I owned was a custom-made shirt. I used to have multiple Rolexes. That's true. Multiple Rolexes. I did all the flashy stuff. Yes, I did. I was consulting with the big heavy hitters in Manhattan, in finance and tech and law, and I played the game with all of them. Every one of my shirts had my initials engraved on it. Every one of my jackets had my name inside. Again, multiple Rolexes, expensive jewelry for my cufflinks. I played all the game. Useless. Got rid of it all. And I'm joking. You don't see me wear custom stuff anymore. No one seen me wear custom stuff in years. My stuff comes out of Amazon. I'm not even joking. I do not spend money on that stuff at all. Because Kajan, you are correct. It was silly. It wasn't necessary. Well, one point it was necessary, but it wasn't valuable. How about that? It wasn't valuable. What is valuable is good food. You are right. So I've decided in my life, I don't have to make as much money as I used to. I don't have to. And I don't have to buy all those funky things. I do have to make sure that both me and my family have only grass-fed, grass-finished meat. That's true. Only organic foods, only pasture-raised eggs. I do all those things. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm telling you I do, and I agree with you. Now, next, what happens if you don't have that much money? It's a lot of money, right? If some of you want those pasture-raised eggs now, what's it, $13 for like 12 eggs, or whatever, $15 for like 12 eggs, whatever. I mean, it's insane for those types of eggs. It's horrible. That's a lot of damn money. It's a lot of money. I get it. You might not want to go there. And again, should be your choice. Now, if I am in charge of anything, helping people out, what do I want to do? I want to make it so that anybody can afford good food. That's the goal. Kate John, to your point, the goal should be that. And if we can now incentivize people to not put all these things in the meat, to not put all these things in the eggs, to not put all these pesticides on the veggies. But this kind of goes in a way right back to Lunatic's point. The more mass you have, the more of that you have. They do go hand in hand. So what's the difference? If people say, I don't want these things, companies will have to take them out. Why? Because people won't buy it. The companies, again, to my earlier point, Kajan, you're right. This stuff's all terrible. Companies don't care. And they're not, well, companies are evil. No, they don't care. This is cheaper, so they do it. People buy it, so they do it. If it hurts people, if it doesn't, they don't care. They're not evil. They don't care. If we make it to where people go, I'm not buying this. They go, oh, we can't do this? No, because we won't buy it. Oh, then we'll stop doing this. We didn't care either way. You were buying it, so we just kept putting it in there. You're not going to buy it? We won't put it in there. It's literally That simple. So I went long on that one, I know, but it's an important point, and I'm glad you brought it up. So, Lunatic again, is North Korea smuggling ramen noodles, a wartime WW2 product of Japan? Is North Korea smuggling ramen noodles? I'm not. Are you talking about because ramen noodles are heavily processed, which is true, they are, and are they? They're not. They wouldn't. I don't think they're smuggling them. But if you were starving in North Korea, and your option was starve to death or eat ramen noodles, I would hope you'd eat ramen noodles, right? I mean, they're obviously not the greatest thing for you. I get that, but there's a difference. Americans are not starving. That's not a thing. And people say all the time, particularly people who are worried, oh my God, there's a bunch of people in America who are starving. No, they're not. Well, yeah, certain people are food insecure. Food insecure is not starving. Those are two separate things. Food insecure is not starving. That's made up. Less than 20 people, every year, often far less than even 20, like less than 10, every given year, starve to death in America. And the reason why is no one in America starves to death because they don't have enough money to buy food. That's not why they starve to death. It's not a thing. They starve to death for several reasons. One, because they actually have, sadly, an addiction problem that's so bad, they spend all the money on their addiction and eventually starve themselves to death because of that. That's option one. Two, anorexia. People have the mental problem, the mental health problem with anorexia and starve themselves to death. Again, they starve themselves to death. They have the money, either have an addiction problem, anorexia, or lastly, we purposely do it. One, for cruelty. Some parents will starve their kids to death because they're cruel and terrible parents. It does happen. It's rare, but it does happen. The opposite is we allow someone to die because they're dying and they're in a vegetative state, and we let them starve to death and they die. That's how people starve to death in America. No one starves to death in America because they don't have enough money to eat. That's not a thing. Never happens. 0 people in America die because of that. Never happens. Americans are not underfed. They're undernourished. That's for sure. They're undernourished. So Americans should not be smuggling in ultra-processed foods or noodles. I don't know how bad North Korea is. The stories I hear is people starve to death. I mean, it did in China. I assume that's true, but I don't know it to be true. But I know in areas like Sudan, areas like that, people are literally starving to death. In those areas, give them the noodles. I'm not going to complain over that one. Just not. Lunatic, back over here. Wow, another one like $55. Rumble stream stopped for me. Uniting has always been the plan, but all have been decimated. Yes, ramen noodles are high calorie, cheap, and plain. Yes, correct. So absolutely. If you're literally lacking of caloric intake, that's a good idea. So yes. All right, let me keep going down this thing. I'm yapping you guys. Let me finish this up.
I try to take care of myself. Here are the numbers that really scare me, though. And 66% of adults, 38% of teens, and we'll put this up on the screen, they have prediabetes.
I didn't order that.
You see that? He says, I didn't order that.
He did not order that. We'll just put it looks great. I'm sure one of our guys. Would anyone like a free shake? Anyone? We got to be somebody in here.
Well, this happens, by the way, often. And they often don't know this. When someone who is trying to, when someone's trying to help them with something like that, the people in the back will often go, give them something cool, right? Do something nice for them. And it's often something like this. It's happened to me. Like people will come out and give me some cool thing, and I'll feel terrible because very often it's a dessert. So I'll be supporting somebody's business, whatever the case may be, and then they'll come on out and they'll give me some kind of amazing dessert because they're trying to say, Larry, thank you for supporting the business. Larry, thank you for doing what you're doing, blah, blah. And then they'll come out and they'll give me some great dessert. And I feel bad. I'm not going to eat it. Now, if it was like on TV or something, I would absolutely eat it. But it's just, I'm not going to eat it. I give it to somebody else. I usually, oh, great. Thank you so much. I give it to somebody else. Is my camera messed up? Hold on. My camera good? There we go. All right. There we go. Yes. So anyway, it's true. AC says, Mastermind Hour. Yeah, I was pretty consistently doing 1 meal a day. But then my other fridge in my truck broke. And that kind of effed me up. Kind of effed up my keto too. But getting back. Yeah. 1 meal a day, for those who don't know, is called OMAD, OMAD, 1 meal a day. It is a common thing that people do in a way to stay stay consistently fasting. It's a common thing. I've done it here or there. It's not my lifestyle. I tend to do, not always, not as good as I could be, but I tend to do intermittent fasting, 18-6, 18 hours off, 6 hours eating. I eat between 12 and 6 usually, but I can't always. If I'm working hard, sometimes you see me come in late because I have to eat late. So I can't always do it, but I try to stay in that way. And AC goes on to say, I wish eggs weren't so effing expensive. Me too, because I eat them every day. Yes, every day. I eat them every day. I wish they weren't so damn expensive. And I make them for my daughter every day. And to Kate John, she's like, only get the best. Yeah, I get pasture raised, which means I'm paying a lot of money for eggs. Correct. You're right. Yes. So, Lunatic says a treat is actually a long-term death sentence. Is it? I think you went a bit off rails on that one. I'm not sure I'm gonna go there. You went off the rails on that one, Lunatic. You went off the rails on that one. Thank you for $2, though. I appreciate it. Yes. Shelly says, I love his ideas and think he's dedicated to Maha, but I prefer to read about what he says. It's not right, but I admit the voice is distracting. It can be. It can be. Yes. AC says, type 2 diabetes is a result of not being on keto. I agree with that completely. Yes. I know many people who, and people think I'm nuts, who literally ended their type 2 diabetes by going on keto. It just stopped. Yes. 100%. Yes. Andrew goes on to say, how many 60 to 80-year-olds would benefit from keto? Like all of them? Like all of them? That Liberty chick, you are here. Oh, so good to see you. So good to see you here. I'm glad you're here. I need you back on the show one of these days. Most people wouldn't know as much as they do about health if it wasn't for RFK and the CHD. Correct. CHD, for those who don't know, is the Children's Health Defense, right? Is that right? Is that right? I think that's correct. Yeah. So yeah, 100% true. That's absolutely true. 100% true. Yes. So again, very happy. Christopher says, if RFK can get most of the population to at least be conscious about food and health and be at least moderate about it, he'd have done his job. Yes. Accurate statement.
But I want to go back. Yeah, you want. Okay, 80% of American adults, 50% of teens are overweight and obese. We have an obesity epidemic in this country. 77%, according to the Pentagon, Americans do not qualify for the military because of their health.
Think about
40% of our teenagers struggle with anxiety now and depression.
Which there are studies coming out of Stanford and Harvard that show a lot of mental illness, including anxiety and depression, are related to food. And that changing your diet, food is medicine. By changing your diet,
food is medicine by changing your diet. Now, some of you are going to say, Larry, you don't understand. I need my meds to be better. And you probably do. No shame on that. You probably do. But is it possible that food can help? Not only maybe, yes. There are so many. If you take a few minutes, for those of you who are on some form of drug for your medical health, for your mental health, if you are, take a few minutes. It makes sense to go on YouTube or Google or wherever you want to go and Google and Google food for mental health. Just Google that. There's so many people who will show you. There was a recent one. Oh, I'll see if I can find it. There was a recent Diary of a CEO. Some of you may like Diary of a CEO. He can be boring, but he can also get some good guests too. He's out of the UK, and he had a woman on who was speaking specifically about that. She is like let's see if I can find it real fast. Hold on. If I can find, she was talking about keto for mental health. And the host, does not like keto. He always has an excuse for keto. He doesn't like it. There it is. Okay. She experienced tremendous reduction. She calls herself the keto psychiatrist. Yes. She says it can cure 43% of mental illness. Keto. I told you it's magic. You guys don't believe me. It's magic. It literally can. So again, she has a whole thing. She calls herself, she is a nutritional and metabolic psychiatrist. If you have a moment, It is Diary of a CEO, and the woman's name is Dr. Georgia Eid. For those of you who care, you can check that out. Maybe I'll put it in there later on. But that's what it is. The Diary of a CEO, and the woman is Dr. Georgia Eid. She speaks specifically to what he's saying. It's everywhere to look for. It is everywhere. It's not just what people are talking about here on my show. It's everywhere. So again, magic.
You can lose some of those diagnoses. And this, Sean, is a uniquely American problem. This is not happening like it is here elsewhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
When my uncle was president, 3% of Americans were obese. As you pointed out, it's
Yep.
now close to 80% of adults, 50% of children. But in Japan, it's still 3%.
Men
Because
in
they don't eat
Japan,
this.
correct me if I'm wrong, don't they live on average 10 years longer than men here?
Yep.
Yeah, and this generation of our kids is the first.
Now they have blue zones in Japan. Please know what a blue zone is. That's where people live like over 100 is normal. There's some in Japan. They have one, I think, in Italy too, I think. And a couple places. It isn't only diet. I wish it was. That'd be amazing. But diet's part of diet. I'm sorry. Keto is magic. Diet isn't magic, right? It's definitely a part, but it's also mental health. It's also, do you have purpose? It's all those things that matter. It's not just that, right? So that's it. So Ryan says to us, keto is magic. Yes, it is. It is magical. So, and again, I want to be very clear. Here's how you make something magical. It's very simple. You can do this any way you want, right? When anything good happens, you blame that thing for the good thing. When anything bad happens, you ignore that thing for the bad thing that happens. And therefore, that thing is now magic. So I could say coffee is magic if I want to. Everything good happens to me, it's because of the coffee. If bad happens to me, it's not because of the coffee. Coffee's magic. I like keto. Everything good that happens to me is because keto. Everything bad is not. Keto is magic. It isn't that hard. We can all do it if we want to. Isn't that hard? Yes. All righty.
First generation in 200 years that is going to have a shorter lifespan than their parents.
Scary.
So we are letting down these kids, and there's a moral issue here.
This is true.
And
he's right.
we need to start grappling with it because it's a moral issue. It's a financial issue. The healthcare costs are going to sink us. And the only way that we're going to solve it is by changing what we eat.
I cannot agree more. I can't agree more. He's exactly right. He's exactly correct. That's the issue. It's going to bankrupt us for many reasons. One, because we're going to pay for all these people who can't be productive. Why? Because they're sick. And this is the next problem. The next thing that happens is those people get mental illness. Why? Because they feel like they're useless. They feel like they're losers. They feel like they can't get done what they want to get done. So now, because you're physically ill, you will now become mentally ill. So how are you supposed to, as someone who's now physically and mentally ill, how are you supposed to be productive in society? Well, Aaron, everyone has to work. I didn't say work. I said productive in society. That could mean taking care of children. That could mean helping out your friends. That could be caretaking someone else. I don't know what it is. We need lots of things done in America. But you can't do any of them if you're both physically and mentally ill. You just can't. In fact, now someone's taking care of you. Not the right answer. So Cynthia says, to his credit, RFK has pointed out clear problems, but his solution is deeply flawed. What's flawed about his solutions? What's flawed? I don't get that one. And I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be flippant. So far, what has his solution been that's been so deeply flawed? And I mean that seriously, Cynthia. If I've missed something, and people who know me know, if I'm wrong, I will say right here I'm incorrect. What solution has he implemented that is so deeply flawed? I have not seen one that is so deeply flawed. If you think one, let me know. I'll be on for a little bit, and if you have a moment, please check it out. I would love for you to tell me if you think that I've missed something. Happy to be wrong on that. So, user says, what scares me is they use Roundup to dry out grain crops. How do you get away from that? Yes, it is hard, which is why you have to try to the best of your ability to get things that are more organic, which don't use this. And it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. I try my best to clean my vegetables to the best of my ability. I use special veggie wash. I try to clean it to the best of my ability. But you're right. The healthier you are, the less that will affect you. That's what I can say. Paula says, Larry, if you become governor, you need an office of the don't eat processed crap foods to give tax breaks to healthy food restaurants and grocery stores. I don't want to go down that road. I get where you're going. I don't want to go down that road. I don't want to use government like that. I get the concept. I do. But I would rather simply say something like, as an example, I do it, follow me. I would rather my example be the case, and maybe I only go to places like that. So yes. Cynthia says, factory farming is a violation of animal rights. Agreed. Animal rights are allowed to extension of the principles that form the base of human rights. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm not a fan of factory farming. I just recognize that we're not going to get away from it, at least right now. I recognize it. I recognize if we incentivize people, we can stop it, but we can't stop it by going, don't do it. We have to stop it by saying, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to, right? And this is the biggest point, earlier that user brought up. How do you get people away from using Roundup? Don't buy stuff that has Roundup on it. Now, that's easy for me to say. I get it. It's easy for me to say. So then as a leader or as a mayor or governor or any official, I have to make it very easy to go farm to table. I have to create an environment where it's easy to go farm to table. So if I say, you know what? I don't want to buy those chickens that I made in that factory farming. I want to buy local. And now it's easier. I'm going to go do that. And one of the things I talked about when I ran for governor was make it so that if you agree that you will sell only within New York State as a farmer, that you are immune from all federal regulatory bodies. And when people on the left said, oh, now they're going to be doing crazy stuff because they're immune from federal regulatory bodies. The people who do the federal regulatory bodies, these are the ones who do farming like this. They're the bad ones. The local farmers have to follow their rules, pay their fees, pay their fines. That's why they all want to becoming Monsanto farms. Let them just be farmers and people will buy from them a whole lot cheaper. Now, of course, you must be open and say, hey, I don't follow federal guidelines. And again, if someone says, no, I trust my federal government, I don't know why you would, but some people do. I trust my federal government. If you don't follow federal guidelines, I'm not buying your chickens. Awesome, don't. There's a bunch of them in Walmart that follow all federal guidelines, and they're full of poison. Enjoy the federal guidelines. Up to you. I agree with you, Cynthia. I just think the way of doing it is not through law. That's it. Ryan says, HHS and EPA need to look into the chemicals being spread in their crops on farmlands in Paynton, Missouri. I've lost 2 relatives due to cancer. Yes. Someone actually asked me about 4 days ago. Yeah, earlier this week. Said, Larry, the person I know is going through chemotherapy. And they said, Larry, I don't know. Should I try this keto thing? I'm not joking. They literally said, should I try this keto thing? I heard you talk about it. I'm like, dude, tomorrow. Just start to have your last crappy meal tonight. Tomorrow. Here's what I promise you if you do it. I'm not promising you that your cancer is cured. I'm not. Here's what I promise you. Whatever level of growth cancer is happening on you now, it will be less the next time you check. He's like, really? I said, yep. I said, I've just seen so much. I'm that sure of it. It will be less. Whatever the rate of growth has been, it will be less. He said, why? I said, because cancer grows on sugar. That's what feeds it. Sugar is what feeds cancer cells. Add fasting to it. Autophagy. Autophagy kills old cells. Cancer cells are your own cells. Cancer cells aren't foreign cells. They're your own cells that your body can clear out. People think I'm nuts. I don't care. I think I'm nuts. I have to say, hold on, I have to say this because YouTube will get mad at me. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I heard. There we go. YouTube, don't cancel me. I'm not a doctor. I'm right. I'm not a doctor. So, yes. Any case, let me keep going. Go down. Missy's on your board. She says, true about animal rights, Cynthia. You got some fans here. I like that. You got some fans here. I'm glad you have some fans. Paula says, you have excellent food shows, Larry. I had type 2 diabetes as a kid. It led to kidney failure. Wow. And a kidney pancreas transplant. Oh my God. I don't have diabetes anymore, but it was how getting here. Diabetes is no joke. Very thankful that RFK is talking about this. Yes. Thank you. Yes. AC says, oh, do any of you want to talk to Eric Berg? I do. Berg is all about it. Berg and there's a couple of them. And Eckbert also. Yeah, a couple of them. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them that do keto. And they talk about it. It's about how it can fix so many things. So yes, Paul says, oh, I meant type 1. There we go. All right. So Christine says liar. I'm not sure who you're saying liar to on that one, Christine. Am I the liar or is someone else the liar? I'm not sure what that is. Let me know if I'm the liar or not. I don't know who is. So Shin says actions taken during the Amon administration regarding school lunches were a step in the right direction. Oh, all right. I want to try to give credit where credit is due, Shin. And did Michelle Obama actually open up a conversation? Yes, she did. I will give you credit. She did open a conversation. But then she went right back to let's exercise because she couldn't touch that food lobby. She started with the food. She did. I'm trying to give credit where credit is due. Michelle Obama did start with the food. She did. And then the food lobby said, what's wrong with you? Go like dance and stuff. I want food stuff. So she did start and it was nice, but not great. Just being forward, not great. If you look at what the kids are eating now in school, not amazing at all. Not amazing at all. Looking over at Instagram, and CCRLE says, I buy grass-fed beef from a local ranch for my family. We also can a lot of food from veggies we buy at the store. We are starting to grow our own vegetables so we can our own food. You know, that's the issue, right? I love the idea of people doing that. That can be challenging, but you have to ask them a question. If you have the cash, and I hope you all have lots of money, and you all can buy all the cool stuff, I hope you can. You say to yourself, Larry, I don't have all that cash. Okay, you don't. I get it. You are where you are in your life, wherever that is. Can you do other things that maybe take up more time? Maybe like canning or traveling to a farm every couple of weeks or whatever is the appropriate part to buy more in bulk. Can you do that? And for some people, the answer is yes. Some people not. Just saying, some people not. I get it. We should try our best to do what you can. That's it. Try our best. So yes. Denise says, Dr. Courtney Hunt, MD, is great with keto diets and women's health. There we go. There are lots of them out there, guys. If you care about this, you can take the time and check it out. There's lots of ways you can learn this stuff. 100%. 100%. Chrissy says, getting a sponsor is a good thing. We want you to make money. Okay, I agree. So if you guys want me to get a sponsor, here's the thing. I have to have more people seeing this show so I can get a sponsor. So why don't I get people to click the button known as Lima India Kilo Echo? Click that like button. And more importantly, once you've clicked it, and some of you aren't clicking it, which means, I don't know, you like diabetes. There we go. Your diabetes levels. Why? What's wrong with you? Click the like button. And after that, please share it. Put this in something else. Share it into a Facebook group. Share it on X. Share it someplace else so people can see it. Please do so. I want you to subscribe on YouTube. And when you do, select all notifications so that you get all notifications. Yes. Also, please follow me on Facebook, X, and Rumble. You guys see Super Chats? If you can do them, please do so. Super Chat or rant me on Rumble, either one. Membership is good. Free one popped up today. Garrett's giving one, so please do that. Click that join button if you would on YouTube. Larry, 49 per month is a lot of money. Yes, but I'm really good looking. So just watch me. It's worth it. Come on. I'm shaking my moneymaker for you. Come on. It's not that bad. You do it? Come on. Okay, maybe you can't. But if you can't do it, it's okay. You click the like button. That's free. So Larry is, I can't swing the $5. Okay. You can swing your knuckle onto the button known as like. That you can swing. That's free. So I don't want you can't swing that. That you can. You can share. It's free. You do that too. So go ahead and do that if you would. I would appreciate it. So yes, I would love to have a sponsor, but we need more viewers to make sure I get a cool sponsor. That would be nice. So yes. All righty. Let me grab some of these if I can. All right. Mastermind says, oh crap, I hope Larry knows all my chicken scratches. I pop up the ones I can get. I don't always know which ones are which. These zip by me. There's so many of them. So I try to grab the ones I can. So there we go. Christine says, buy a quarter cow right from the cow. Right. If you can do that, Christine, that's amazing. I agree with you. Not everybody can, right? But yes, if you're in a world where that's something you can do, take that time to cut that up, or even ask them to cut it for you, it's still cheaper, right? So it's obviously cheapest if you can do it yourself, but not everybody can. Either time or skill set or tools, they're unable to. But if you're unable to, great. Ask the guy or gal there to chop it up for you. They'll charge you something, but it'll still be cheaper. Right? So they can chop it for you. So you got to do whatever, steaks or ground beef or whatever way you want to eat it. Right? It's all there. I think you can do it. I agree. I live in Queens. Tough for me to do that. I got to basically buy it. So yeah, it's tougher. Could I do it? Like to be forward? Yes, I could. But in my view, and this is my view, you have to have your own view. The amount of time and energy it would take for me to drive to a place to where I could get that and make it up, it's not worth it to me. I'd rather pay up front. That's what I'd rather do. Again, you have to figure it out, what makes the most sense for you. So yes. James says, how do we get to a point where we made unhealthy food more affordable than healthy food? Also screw all the food grants and subsidies. You just answered that question, didn't you? You just answered your own question. That's the reason. I'm not joking. That's the reason. Yes. AC says, if you're wealthy and you care about health, what do you mean health? You have a personal effing chef to make you amazing. Yes. You're not wrong, right? If you're wealthy and care about health, you have a personal effing chef to make you amazing, tasty, healthy keto meals. Actually, the keto meals from Factor aren't bad. Yes to both. I keep saying that, right? Why do you think nothing gets solved, AC? Whether it's a Democrat, Republican, why doesn't it get solved? Because they're all wealthy and they don't care. Because to your point, they all have personal effing chefs, as you just said. Yes. I know. I've been to these fundraisers. But you know that I do fundraising? I've been to them. And you go to a fundraiser, right? And maybe it's at someone's house who's wealthy. Or maybe it's at a hotel who's wealthy. But say it's at someone's house who's wealthy. You think they're cooking. They're not cooking. They either have their own chef or they hire a catering company to come to their home. Yes. That's what wealthy people do. You are correct. I'm around them. I live in New York City. I'm around them. That's what they do. They hire a catering company to come in. A chef comes in and makes whatever they decide, whether it's keto or vegan, or maybe they have a keto option, a vegan option, a blah, blah, blah option. Yeah. They don't have to drop a couple $1,000. What do they care? What do they care? They're wealthy. They don't care. Doesn't matter to them at all. So interesting side story about spending money. When I was in the Marine Corps in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, one of the schools I was at in Fort Belvoir, there was one of the officers who was in my class. I was in intelligence school, and one of the officers in my class was actually from a country in the Middle East, wealthy country like Dubai, Saudi Arabia, one of the wealthy countries. And at the end of the class, about like 27 of us in the class, we go to like some restaurant and we celebrate, right? Whatever. The check comes. We're like, okay, let's divvy up the check. Like, oh, check's been paid for. What? Check's been paid for. Who paid for it? Freaking officer. Paid the check for 27 people. I was like, whatevs. Must be nice. So, any case, just thought that was kind of cool. Paula said, I'd love to see a Kennedy Sharpe ticket for some office somewhere. Oh, that would be nice. A Marine and a Kennedy will get this country into shape in no time. I do love that idea, but I'm not that close to RFK Jr. I mean, I met him many times. I used to tease him. I used to call him Mr. President when I would see him, but we're not that close. I don't know if he would trust me that much, to be forward. I was his surrogate many times last year, but I don't know. He has a lot of people who are close to him. I don't know if I'd be the guy to pick, but be nice. I agree. Would be nice, but I don't know if I would be doing that. So yes. All righty. Let's see here. Michael says, I allow myself one 16-ounce Mountain Dew a day in memory of my late amigo, Ray. He even made dew cubes in the freezer. I miss him. Oh, that is one of the sweetest reasons to drink Mountain Dew I think I've ever. In fact, that's the most one. That's the sweetest reason I've ever heard to drink Mountain Dew. That is nice. Yes. Christine says, I just placed an order to a farm in Richland, Missouri. There we go. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Christopher says, about sugary drinks, they're horrible for your health. I cook in a restaurant, though, and enjoy the sugar, that sort of fast-paced environment. Look, again, right? I think most people would agree that having a bunch of sugary drinks is probably not a good idea. It doesn't mean you should have a law against it, right? It doesn't mean you have a law against it. But understand, if you have a whole lot of it, it's not going to work. So that's all I'm saying. Shin says, many of these problems tie back to our lack of investment in community. True. Childhood development and anti-discrimination. Childhood development and anti-discrimination. We need more walkable neighborhoods, increased paid maternal leave, fewer swamps. I don't think, I'm not saying we shouldn't have increased paid maternal leave, but that's not a reason. That's not a reason for this. Those two things are not connected. You could have lots of unhealthy women who stay home have unhealthy kids. So those two things. Again, not saying you should or shouldn't have paid maternal leave. I'm saying they're not connected in this case, right? In this case, they're not connected. You can have women can stay home. Or I guess you said maternal, so mom, but you could dad, whatever. People have stay-at-home parents and still have kids who are unhealthy. That's not the thing. Anti-discrimination, that's irrelevant for this case also. Doesn't mean anything. That's not it. Child development, yes. Investment community, 100%. We need to be investing in our communities. I like walkable neighborhoods. I agree. Those things. But anti-discrimination, that's something you threw on because you don't like discrimination. I get that. But in this case, they're not related. You want paid maternal leave. I get that. In this case, not connected. They're just things you like, which is fine, but not in this case. So yes. Paula says, processed carbs are addictive. Yes. True and true. Absolutely true. Yes, absolutely true. So let me grab some of these if I could. Michael says, W created Medicare Part D to pay for the pills. Correct. And people are like, yeah, he expanded Medicare. Yeah, he was a handout. It was a handout to the drug companies. Absolutely. AC says, you don't lose your sweet tooth, I know. I put stevia in my coffee because I still want something sweet. Yes. Andrea says, thank you for being a member, Andrea. Yes, give me more pills so I don't have to change my diet. Correct. Sadly, that's accurate. I wish you were wrong, Andrea. I wish you were wrong. But no, it's true. So much, so true. Absolutely. So, yeah, we're looking at, people, there's a thing that we often find. People don't always want to be better or do the work to be better. They just want to feel better, right? So if a pill makes me feel better, I might just take the pill. Yeah. Kim says, companies are inherently greedy, though. True. You're not wrong. All I'm saying is they're not evil. They want to get as much as they can. Accurate. No doubt that's true. My point is incentivize them so their greed goes to the right spot. And this is the point. If this is military tactics, I'm not joking. If I know what they're going to do, I can set an ambush because I know what they're going to do, right? So if I know the company is going to be greedy, and you're right, they all are, unless once in a while you find some ideologues who run certain companies, and they stay ideologues until they get bought by a bank or by a private equity firm. It does happen here or there, but those are small percentage here or there. So scratching off those few here or there's, which you will have for a short period of time until they're bought out by somebody else, companies are going to be greedy, right? Well, if I know they're going to be greedy, I can act accordingly. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you can do it. Yes, absolutely. Michael, thank you for being a member. Bobby Jr. is among the best America has to offer. So sad so many have been propagandized again. Correct. Yes. I'm still, did I miss? Hold on. Did I miss? I'm going to pop here real fast and see. Andrea says I might have to cheat and go to steak and steak. Yeah, it's true. Something you might want to do. Yes. Phil says knowing's half the battle. Accurate. Yet again, accurate. Yes. 100%. Yeah. Ryan says an actual Sean Hannity segment that's watchable. Win for Sean Hannity. True. Sean, now look, some of you I'm sure like Sean Hannity. Myself, Sean Hannity is he's just every show's the same show. Like it's the same show. When Biden was president, every single show began this way. I'm not joking. The Biden Harris terrible world did bad stuff. That was every show. Every show. And now it's the Dems and the libs, the progressives are doing bad stuff. That's every show. You're right. Most of the shows aren't. You can watch like Monday's show for like 10 minutes and you don't have to watch any more Sean Hannity the rest of the week. Not required. He told you everything in the first. Yeah. Oh, hold on, Phil. Sean Hannity repeats himself so much. Yes, he does. People who watch Sean Hannity just want to have their worldview validated. And he does that so good. I mean, if you want to have if you're doubting your worldview at all, watch about an hour where Hannity be like, nope, I am right. Everything I've been saying is correct. Yes. For a minute there, I thought maybe I was wrong. Nope. Watch Sean Hannity. He will validate your worldview, assuming your worldview is mainstream Republican. If your worldview is mainstream Republican, Sean Hannity will validate your worldview in 15, 20 minutes. If you really like shaking, I don't know if it's really true. Watch like 2 days. You good. That's all it takes. You are correct. That's it. And to be forward, that's his job. Like he knows his job and he does it well. He knows his job and he does it well. His job is to validate anyone's worldview, right? Who literally, yeah, he'll do it 100%. Phil says, boy, he took the L word. He did. I was very happy about that. I'm glad. Look, somebody has to. Somebody has to. Absolutely. Somebody does. So, all right, so if I can grab some more of these here. Joel says, eggs are bad, eggs are good, eggs are bad. Yeah, I remember my youngest daughter came home from one day at school and she goes, you know, Dad, 2 eggs is the same as 5 cigarettes. I said, what? She went, 2 eggs. I read it. They told us in school. I'm like, God, your school's garbage. She said, what? Yeah, your school's garbage. Utter 100% not true. Not even close to true. Like, so wrong. Really? Yeah. I said, baby, you see me eat eggs every day. Yeah. What am I, coughing up my lung? Anyway, yeah, you're correct. It goes back and forth every 5 minutes. So Mastermind says, I use coconut oil and bacon fat. Yes. I don't use much coconut oil because it's too much for me, but bacon fat I love. I actually fry my eggs in bacon fat. Yeah. Shelly says, use butter and olive oil and ghee. I don't use ghee. I use olive oil, butter, bacon fat, and tallow. Those are the 4 things I'll cook in depending on what I'm trying to get. So yes. Christine says butter is awesome. I would agree. Mastermind says butter and tallow have already been time tested. Correct. True. Yes. Brian says, eat the bread, Larry. Eat the bread or else. I'm telling you, I would do it. Phil says rice with pineapple. You know, I would have to decide hardcore, Phil. And see, Phil would mess me up. I shouldn't even say because Phil will mess me up. If I go to a pizza joint, Phil's going to tell the guy, he's going to lie and tell you, oh, he loves pineapple on pizza. Tell him that when the camera comes. Phil's going to do that. I know. See? I'm gonna be ready for you because you're gonna when the camera comes, put lots. He likes double pineapple. Put double pineapple on a pizza. You're gonna make me eat pineapple pizza on camera so I can support some damn pizza shop, aren't you? All right. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. Yes. All righty. Let's see here. Ryan says, do you know what vegan chicken and rice is? Rice. Accurate. Ron says, haven't seen a doctor since 2013. The last time I went to a doctor because I had a problem, I can't remember. What's the matter with it? I don't remember. I don't know. At least 15 years. More? I can't remember. So it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. Yes. All righty. Mastermind says medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in the United States, and that's not statistic they like to promote. Yes, that it is a problem. We have to fix it. Yes, agreed. Henry says my doctor was totally happy with me doing keto, but he retired. Yeah, not mine. No. I think I told you that. Mine told me, and when she told me this, I'd been on keto for 12 years. She said, yes, your numbers are good, but it's unsustainable. So you have to go on a statin. I'm not joking. She was, nah. She's like, wait a minute, I got to get paid. So you go on a statin. I'm like, no. Like, I only see her every 4 years. She's like, oh, I got to get you now because you ain't coming back for 4 years. So I better get you now. Otherwise, I'm not going to get you. So, yes, that's good. Bruce, thank you for being a member. I don't know what those colors are. What are those colors for? Yellow, blue? I don't know what that is. You're laughing. I'm not sure what that is. Help me out. I'm not getting it. Help me out. So, all righty. Let me grab some more of these. Ryan says, light into Budweiser. You know, when I once in a while I'll drink. Like if other people are drinking or something, so probably maybe once a year, maybe. I mean, I think I drank it all last year, not once. But once in a while, if I go out with friends, I might have something. But when I do drink beer, it's not Dos Equis. When I do drink beer, it's almost always going to be something dark, a darker beer, a more stout, a more darker beer. When I do have beer, I do like it to be more stout. I do prefer that. So every once in a while, it's just rare though. So Ryan says $2. Thank you. Pineapple on pizza is satanic. True. See that? I'm not the only one. Accurate. But I know Phil gonna mess with me. So yeah. Yes. Phil's gonna be a jerk with me. I know he is. He's gonna be like, okay. He's gonna be like that. Yes. All right. I'm sure he's gonna be that way. Yes. Stellene says sugar is addictive as most hard drugs. I go on and off with it often. I'm an addict. I hate it. I got to tell you something. The funny thing about it is, I think something I told you this story. I have a problem with sweet drinks personally. Like I have an issue. I'm addicted to soda. If you give me a 2 liter of soda and put it in front of me, I'm drinking the whole thing. That's it. True story. Got 2 liters of soda in the house. 2 liters of soda in the house. Trying to be good. Because my family knows I like sodas. Before I was on keto. 20 years ago. Right? You like soda, so here's 2 liters. 2 liters. I got mad. They're buying me 2 liters because they know I like soda. Instead of me saying, oh, thank you, that's sweet. I got angry. It's like, why? Why'd you do that? Like, what? Now I got to drink 4 liters tonight. This was my mindset. That's addict talk right there. Like, that's junkie talk. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm mad at you because now I'm blaming you because I'm going to drink 4 liters of soda and I'm blaming you for that. That's some addict stuff right there. That was my thought process. Because I have a problem. I recognize I have a problem. So I drink 0 soda. I can't drink just 1. That's not how it works. Because for me, that's addictive. That sugar soda, I can't have it. I get a glass of soda that's sugar. I'm drinking all of it. And yours and yours and yours, I'm taking it all. So, no. I agree with you completely. I felt it myself. That Liberty Chick says, exercise too. There are many studies. So much. This goes back to when I talk about the blue zones, right? The blue zones of the world where the people live the oldest to over 100. They have good diets, obviously. That's option 1. But they also have purpose, right? But something else. They're active. They're doing things, right? They're out there walking. If you go to a certain place of Okinawa, which is one of the blue zones in Japan, you will find grandma who's 90. I'm not making this up. She's still picking flowers. Grandpa's like, he's doing yard work. Like he's doing stuff. He's like moving stuff around and doing yard work, cutting the grass. He's doing stuff. You can go to a mom and pop store. They don't have that many of them. Okinawa has more of them than mainland. You go to a mom and pop store, right? You go in there and you're gonna, buy a drink or something or whatever. And the woman taking your money is 89-year-old grandma, 95-year-old grandma. She's running the store, stocking the shelves. She's 95 and she's stocking the shelves. Why? She got a good diet. She got purpose. And she's working out. She's exercising. She's busy. She's doing stuff physically. She's lifting up the boxes. Exercise. She's walking the stuff back and forth. When the delivery guy comes, she's helping the delivery guy come in. And she's like 92, and she's helping the delivery guy come in. Yes, you're completely correct. You are completely correct. That is one of the things they do. 100%. You're totally correct. And people too often think that exercise isn't valuable. It really is. It's people think exercise, okay, it's good because you get in shape, which is true too, right? It's also true, but it isn't just that. You're right. It helps you out mentally, everything. In fact, there are a lot of people now who are literally realizing that you can walk and think at the same time to keep your blood pumping. So yes, all those things. So Felicia says, thank you for being a member, Felicia. RFK Jr. is 100% correct. A bunch of online moms have content how food toxicity causes autism. When they give their kids a detox, it cured them. Well, I never heard that before. That's interesting. But I think detox is critical, period. Right? I think it's just period like that, right? Yeah. P says, my mom started us up because she wanted to die. Cancer. Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. That's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah. But again, sometimes people just want to go. They just want to go. Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm sorry. That was a bummer. But still, I'm sorry for your loss, brother. I am sorry for your loss. So Kim says, healthy immune system is directly related to mental health. Also true. Also true. 100%. Also true. Yes. Felicia goes on to say, I was a vegan for animal welfare reasons. Factory farming is horrible. True. And I get that. I'm not mad at you for that. People who are vegan, be vegan. Whatever you think is appropriate. And many reasons. There are many reasons to be a vegan. I get it completely. All I'm saying is that, again, I know I'm a broken record, but I don't care. I'll be that broken record. Just don't use law. That's it. Yes. Laura says, I believe that there is no healthy fast food. I have a concept. Why do you think there's no healthy fast food? Do you mean there is no fast food currently is healthy, or that's not a thing? I'm not sure where you're going with that one. I don't really know. Celine says there's Roundup is on everything. I know. Mastermind says my dad lost a third of his lung to Roundup. The stories for Roundup, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Yes, they're everywhere. Yep. Kim says, Larry, we should do at least one Maha show a week. This is great. Okay, I'm going to try. The problem is that Trump's been doing so much stuff. I've been talking about Trump all the time. I had to get some of the stuff of my own stuff I wanted to put in. So I figured I'd do some RFK stuff too. So yes, I will try to do more of these if I can. I'll try to do at least one a week. I will jump on this if I can. So yes. Kim goes on to say, good book everyone who's facing chemo should read. I believe the name is Questioning Chemo. Chemo destroyed my father. It ripped him to shreds. The pain that I was a kid when he died. The pain that he saw, the pain that I saw, I will take to the grave with me. I would never go on chemo, ever. I would rather die. I'm not joking. I would, if I ever get cancer and the doctor says chemo or death, I'll be like, okay, I will take death. Got it. How long do I got? I'm not even joking. I'm never going to chemo. I saw it destroy my father. No, never doing it. But Larry, you'll die. What's the saying from Game of Thrones? All men must die. Accurate. Yes. Rick, thank you for being a member, my friend. I switched from low carb to keto when I started gaining back weight. I successfully lost 5 years ago. Oh, interesting. I'm glad I didn't let myself go back to obese. Yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, good for you. That's great. Everything is habit forming, right? So when you start letting things go before you know it, there we go. Celine says, sugar creates the protein that feeds cancer. Yep, you're not nuts. I learned that from an oncologist at MD Anderson. There we go. Yes, it's true. Yes. Lara says, love you. I love you, Larry. So fun when I get to be part of the live feed. Raises the collective consciousness and gives me hope and inspiration. Oh, you just made my night. I spend a lot of time doing this show. And for those of you who know, I lose money on it. It's a lot of time and I lose money on it. And people have told me more than once, Larry, you don't have to do it live. Do a recording and put it up. People like your stuff. It'll be fine. And they're probably right. Right? They're probably right. But I enjoy the live part of this show so much. I enjoy the interaction of it so much. I enjoy the spontaneity of it so much. I feel like I'm having a good conversation with many people almost every night. And I'm talking about things that I care about. And I'm blatantly honest with you. I'll just tell you what I feel. And many of you share wonderful stories with me, which I want to hear and I enjoy so much. I guess I could do it if I want to. And people probably still watch. I do say some funny things here or there, but it would be the same show. And it is rare that you find someone who will talk about politics and how the business world works and will take the questions and the comments live, even when I get insulted. So yes. So thank you for that. I do like that. Christine says, you called yourself a liar, Larry. Yeah, I guess I'm just a liar. I make errors and I tease because this is live to the point. So when I'm live, I don't have like notes or anything. Like I'm just talking. So am I going to sometimes make errors in how I, talk about? Yeah. Am I going to make mistakes? Yes. Am I going to say dumb things here or there? Yeah. Because it's all off the cuff. And I don't know what question you guys are going to say or what you're going to ask me. Stuff's going to come up, what you're going to say. And I'm going to do what I can. And that's just how it works. So yes. Shelly says, Larry's chat is the best. That's true. And look, you guys are. Let me tell you why. I'm not just kissing your butt. I'm not. But, I double butted. But with 2 T's, but with 1 T. So when I've been in other shows, and I've gone on many other shows. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Kit Cabello's show tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, if you guys want to come on it, on his show, Hard Lens Media. I'll be in his show at 10 a.m. tomorrow, Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, if you guys want to pop on that. I'll put it up here somewhere if you want to check it out. When I go on their shows, watch their chat. Their chat will roast me every single time, call me terrible names, insult me all day, all long, be mean to me like there's no tomorrow. Terrible to me. You guys don't do that to the others. You guys actually talk calmly to them. You still challenge them, but you don't do the blatant insults. And I love that. I hope I have projected that on all of you, that if you're here, this is for a conversation. You can say someone's wrong all day long. No worries. But the insults they don't land well here. So yeah. I hope I can keep doing that. Yes. So, all righty. Let's see here. The AC says, the thing I was talking about was making my own yogurt. Well, that's kind of cool. A guy a little while ago who was talking about probiotics and that we're largely killing off those through the use of antibiotics. Oh, yes. That will colonize your small intestines when most of them colonize your large intestines. And if they're in your small intestine, it's a problem, but we kind of have to make it ourselves. Oh, got it. Yes. The funny part about that, you bring this up, AC, is I try to keep good gut health too. I literally eat sauerkraut every day from 2 different farms, 2 different areas every day to keep my gut health good. I'm with you. I think it's an issue. And I don't take antibiotics unless I can't remember the last time I took antibiotics. I don't really use them. Something has to be a big deal, right? For me to do that. Something has to be a big deal. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to be in a hospital or something, I guess. Otherwise, I don't take antibiotics. And I try to not give my kids antibiotics at all for anything. Just take some time. You'll be fine. Take some time. You'll be all right. Kate John, thank you for $2. I gave up seeing doctors for my health. It worked. Yes. Peter, thank you for becoming a member. I do appreciate it, man. Every new member counts. Thank you so much. Pete, thank you for $2. Keep doing it the way you're doing it, Larry. Oh, thank you, my friend. I just feel like the live show seems like the right answer, right? I feel like it seems like the right answer. Kim goes on to say, the book is Questioning Chemotherapy. Thank you. There we go. Questioning Chemotherapy. Ryan says, hit the like button or you want children with obesity. It's right. Yes, he's right. If you don't click it, yeah. AC says, get a sponsorship from Factor. They seem to sponsor by anybody, and they have to do keto meals. They're a little expensive, but if you purchase in bulk, when they have a coupon code, you're good. Let me check that out. Maybe I should. If I have Factor later, it'll be because of you. If I get Factor, let me see. I don't think they even care about me, but I'll see. Yeah, that's fine. I like that. Adam says, I don't hear anything from you for like years. Now we get 2 live streams in a week. Yay, Mr. Crypto Special. I should send you my PhD thesis after it's done on cultural evolution and blockchain. That'd be amazing. Dude, 2 in a week. I do like 5 or 6 shows a week. I do a lot. I do far too many. I do far too many shows. But yes, I do a lot of shows. I do far too many shows. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Any case, let me grab some more of this if I could. Janet says, Larry, natural hygiene, food combining, popularized in Fit for Life, is very healthy and relatively easy. Larry, natural hygiene, food combining. I actually don't know what that is. I'm going to have to look up that because I'm unsure what that is. I got to check that one out. Yes. Shin says, frankly, our unnecessary consumption of animal products is destructive of the environment and will make future generations curse us. Unnecessary consumption of animal products. You mean like eating meat and stuff? And I'm not sure that's unnecessary. And something else is happening, by the way. For those of you who care about that, and I know some of you care about what Shin is talking about, they're going to have that lab-made meat. They're going to have that. So you have the lab-made stuff, right? You like to have the lab-made meat. You care about the environment. You care about that. Eat the lab-made stuff. Eat the lab stuff. To do that, they're going to have an answer. So there we go. Andrea says, my husband and I have a personal chef. Her name is Andrea. It's funny. My family has a personal chef too. His name is Larry. Accurate, Andrea. I know what you're talking about. I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. Luckily, we eat almost the same thing like every week, most of the same stuff. So that's the one good thing about it. But yes, that's true. 100%. I'm with you completely. So Merlin says, everything is now filled with poisons. This is the hardest thing, is that so much is you've got to try your best to be as healthy as you can because of that. You're exactly correct. Yes, absolutely. It's an issue that we're all dealing with right now. Yes. Police says, my best friend is a stay-at-home mom and has an obese child, and he's huge because he eats pita. Yes, I mean, to be forward, staying at home they're not related, right? Yeah. It's not related. Just true. You could stay at home and have a healthy child and stay at home and have a not healthy child. Doesn't matter. So yes. So Phil says, pasta is great after a long day of chopping firewood. The reality of it is carbs, if you are very active, Phil, I think you're right. If you are very active, carbs aren't bad if you're very active because you burn it off, right? AC was talking about this, about your body can't burn fat if it's got all this sugar in it. Well, if you're using so much energy that you are required to burn it, take carbs. Carbs are a great way of energy. If you're going to be chopping wood all day, right? Look at some of our Olympic athletes. I mean, these are guys who are literally physically straining themselves 8 to 10 hours every day training. Yeah, eat carbs. You're burning off all those calories. I remember Michael Phelps, when he was a swimmer, he'd be in a pool swimming 8-9 hours every day training. And he would burn off, he'd eat 9,000 or 10,000 calories every day and have almost no fat in them. Why? Because you're swimming 9 hours a day at Olympic level. So if you're going to swim at Olympic level swimming 9 hours every day, you can eat all the carbs you want. Have all the pancakes, all the pasta. Who cares? You're swimming at an Olympic level 8-9 hours a day. Eat Eat all the carbs. No worries whatsoever. I completely agree. So, yeah. Phil goes on to say Whole Foods was ideologically driven for decades. Yes. I've met Mackie, the owner of Whole Foods, who doesn't really do that anymore. But yeah, he still is. If I'm not mistaken, last time I talked to him at Freedom Fest last year, I think. Yeah, last year. I'm an ambassador of Freedom Fest. So was he. That's how I know him. I teased him because we're the opposite. He's been like a vegan for like 15 years or something. And I've been keto for like 15 years, like exact opposites. So yeah, but we both seem healthy. So whatever it is, he's got it, right? Yeah. Felicia says, Hannity got better. He was worse when he was younger. I remember where Hannity made his bones. Hannity made his bones for one important reason. For those who don't know, he used to follow Rush Limbaugh. Yes, Rush Limbaugh went from noon to 3, like in the 90s. He went like noon to 3. And in the 90s, when he went from noon to 3, Sean Hannity went 3 to 6. So right after Rush Limbaugh comes Sean Hannity, who then goes into drive time. Couldn't be in a better spot. For those who don't know, in the 90s, a little bit after too, but in the 90s for sure, Rush Limbaugh was the king of talk radio. Like no one could match him in talk radio. Nobody could. He was by far the king of talk radio. Like better than everybody. Leaps and bounds. So if you follow him, you're golden. That's how he made his bones. He followed Rush Limbaugh in the 90s, and then from there went on TV and stuff. Don't get me wrong. The guy knew how to take advantage of it. Give him credit for that. He knows to take advantage of it. But that's how he did it. Right? That's how he made that happen. So, yes. Laura says, who are your favorite news anchors, mainstream or other? It's a good question. If I want to know what the mainstream media is thinking, CNN is the best place to go. I know it sounds horrible, but it's true. CNN is a parrot for corporate media. Like, if you want to know what corporate media thinks, CNN is your place. Now, doesn't mean it's true. It's not. But that now you know what corporate media is telling you to say. Corporate media wants you to know this. Go to CNN. You will know that. Okay, that's it right there. Perfect. So I like that. So when it comes to corporate media, you can't beat CNN. They are literally parrot of whatever the corporation wants you to believe. That's one thing. If you're looking for actual back and forth, I think you've got to go to places like The Hill, Rising, and Breaking Points. So Breaking Points recently has just become like anti-Trump. I feel like in the last month, maybe or so, maybe last month, since Sagar got married also. Sagar got married, went away, came back. He's been fighting Crystal a lot, but then he backs off. Crystal's personality is so strong, and she has got Trump derangement syndrome now. Like it's so obvious that Breaking Points is becoming the "Let me tell you why Trump is bad" channel. It's becoming MSNBC, CNN. It's becoming that, and I'm very disappointed because the idea of a good back and forth is what I really enjoyed. Like I like that it was two people with two different ideas, and I go, "Oh, okay, I see where he's coming from. I get that." So I enjoyed that. But I think that's going away. The Hill was great. Rising was great when it was Robbie Sauvé and Brianna Joy Gray. That was their heyday because it was two people who were passionate on opposite sides giving their views on this. And the best part about it was what's so horrible about CNN is they act like they're not biased when they're blatantly biased, but they have that pretentiousness of we're real news, we're not biased, right? The great thing about Rising when it was Brown, Joy Gray, and Robbie Sauvé is they're like, no, we're both biased. Yeah. Don't fool yourself. We're both biased. Here's my bias point. Here's her bias point. Okay, listen and decide. I loved that. That I really enjoyed. That's kind of gone. Robbie's still there here or there. He goes on and off. The other guys are okay, but they go on and off. They haven't found that magic at all. They just haven't found it. Since that, they haven't found it. If Sagar doesn't do something to fix Breaking Points is going to fail. You can see they're stagnant now. And they're talking about, we need more members. They're talking about because they're stagnant now. And it's because right now Crystal's dominating. And people are like, I don't want to hear this anymore. It's becoming the Trump bad show. And people are like turning off. And don't get me wrong, the other people are great, but the problem with Ryan Ryan Grimm and the other, I forgot the woman's name. The other woman's name. Her personality is strong enough. She cannot. She is bullied by Crystal completely, so she can't defend herself against him. She's bullied by him. Her personality is strong enough. She's smart, but just not strong personality. And Ryan is further left and on the spectrum. So there's just no way that he's gonna be able to deal with Crystal. And he'd go further left. So that's gonna make things worse. So the show is gonna struggle if they don't fix that. They have to fix that somehow. I think Sagar's the only one who can. Otherwise, the show's gonna fall apart. And I forgot the woman's name, but her and Ryan already have the drop site. I think drop site. They're just gonna go drop site. They're making money on that already. They just go there. And they're like, oh, bye, guys. And then I want it happening. I can see it happening, truly. Rising can suck. It doesn't matter because the Hill is a big, that's their big company that pays for them. So if Rising falls, the Hill's fine. They buy somebody else. They don't care, right? The Hill has enough money. But Sagar and Crystal, this is their baby. So there's no overarching thing to stop them. Unless, I know, Kyle Kalinske throws her a check or something. I don't know if he's doing well. Kyle's making a ton of money because once the Democrats collapsed last year, everyone's trying to find some other place to go. A lot of them go to Kyle Kalinske. So he made a killing off of this. He'll be doing fine. When it comes to news in general, like knowing what's happening, I tell you this all the time. Saturday I watch Michael Smirkana. She's usually domestic news, and Sunday I watch Fareed Zakaria. He's in international news. Now their answers for everything are not good, but their data is great. Like they will give you real data. You will know what's going on by what they talk about. Now, Freed's answer is always the same thing. Big government, more government. So his answers are wrong, but his data is always correct. So I think those are some that I watch also. Generally speaking, I'm very lucky, though. I get people sending me stuff all the time. So it's rare I have to even look. Like somebody like, you should do this. You should do that. How about this? Oh, then I research that thing. So that's how I usually find things. I was long, but you asked. So that's what I usually do. So all right, Daniel, thank you for this. I appreciate that. Daniel, thank you for $10. Hello, Larry, I love the show. So you first on Breaking Points. Yes, I was on Breaking Points myself and subbed immediately after your segment. Listen to almost every stream since then. Got a gift membership from the fan as well. Oh, Daniel. Thank you, my friend. I'm so happy that's awesome. Thank you. Ryan, thank you for $2. Rush Limbaugh was from my hometown. Yes, he was from Missouri. Yes, he was from Missouri. And he used to be, Rush Limbaugh's story is interesting. If Rush Limbaugh's story is interesting, Rush Limbaugh was from a small town in Missouri, and he used to be a regular DJ. He went by Rusty. Rusty Limbaugh is what he went by. He went by Rusty Limbaugh. Excuse me, as a DJ. He was a college DJ, like top 40 college. It's like a top 40 DJ at his college radio station. How we started, and then he went from there. So he got a job in Sacramento, and that's where he calls Sacramento his adopted hometown because that's where he ran his show for years out of Sacramento. And then he eventually moved to Florida. I think he passed away in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's his story. Interesting story. So absolutely. He was the king. That's for sure. Whether you like him or not, he absolutely was the king. Absolutely. So Mastermind says, is that a Ukraine reference? Oh, maybe. Yellow and blue make green. Maybe. Could be that. Everyone thinks it's Ukraine colors. It might be. I'm not doing. I was considering doing a show on Ukraine. I thought about it. Maybe I'll do one coming up here. I was considering doing one. I might. Yeah, maybe I will do one on Ukraine because that is happening too. So maybe I will do one on Ukraine. It's not a bad idea. So yeah. All right. So if I can go down here some more. Vivek says TNN had a good debate on education last night between Bakari Sellers and Kevin O'Leary. Bakari Sellers, but yeah. Yes, but the debate is good. Roy says Limbaugh versus invented bombastic talk radio. Hannity rode the coattails. 100% accurate. Yes, 100% accurate. Limbaugh was the king of that. There were other people who did it before him, but none of them were as good as he was. None of them were as popular as he was. The thing that Rush Limbaugh did very well, I think more than anybody, is he was able to use the almost exact vocabulary required to sound smart to average people. I think that was his greatest skill set, Roy. Like he used the words that were like right at the level that weren't so high the average person goes, what? And And wasn't so that someone goes, you just another guy like me. He picked the right amount right there. And that was brilliant that he would do that. And people were like, oh, he's kind of like me, but he's smart. And it was just perfect. And by the way, Rush Limbaugh, by the way, was a very smart person. For those who don't know him, he was very smart. He wasn't educated. He was self-taught, high school diploma only. He was not educated, but he was very self-educated. He was not classically educated, I should say. And he was very smart. Guy probably had a 140, 150 IQ. He's very smart. Hannity is nowhere near as smart as him. I mean, it's not even close. I'm not trying to insult Hannity. Actually, I kind of am. He's not very smart, right? But what Hannity has that a lot of people don't have is Hannity is tenacious. That guy's a bulldog. He will outwork you like there's no tomorrow. Hannity was doing 2 or 3 shows in a row. Didn't care. Hannity would outwork you. Not that smart, but man, that guy has a work ethic. Like there's no tomorrow work ethic. I give credit where credit is due. So I think you're right, Roy. He really did make that happen. I agree. And I think that was his strength was right there, right? That was his strength. So yeah. All righty. Phil says, Joe Saladin made good points about mimicking natural grazing patterns. It helps increase the fertility of the soils. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that now. You're doing more of that. More and more of that. You're seeing more and more people start caring about those types of things to make things more sustainable. It is getting better, I think, right? Peter corrects me, not formally educated. Correct, that's better. Thank you. I said classic. Yes, you're right, Peter. I should have said that. Not formally educated. He was not. Yes, he was not that. Kidman says, do you ever listen to Scott Adams or have thoughts on his style? I like Scott. I've asked him to come on my show. He's been like busy, whatever. I just don't think my show's big enough for him to be forward. We do chat back and forth on Twitter. The advantage of me running for governor is that a lot of people, when I reach out to them, will respond to me. Right? That's the advantage. But they don't always want to come on my show. I wish they would. I've tried to get Scott on my show more than once. He always has like some blah, blah, blah. If you have me listening, Scott, come on my show. I'd love to have him on. I do like him. I think what I like about him more than anything is he does not care if people are mad at him. I love that. He says what he feels no matter what. That part I love. Whether you agree with him or not, I do love that part. So I do love it about him. And I will try to, I like when he gets bombastic. I don't mind him getting bombastic at all. Let him get bombastic. Let him get angry. Let him say the bad things, right? He says racial stuff all the time. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not. I am not mad at people who are trying to do that free speech thing if I don't think they're being mean. And that may seem odd, but hear me out. If someone says something about a group of people racially, ethnically, that tends to be true, and they're saying it not to be mean, not to be angry, I'm okay with it. Our world has says you may not mention race at all, no matter what. And that's kind of dumb, right? What if I say, for example, I'll give you an example of this is, you see many of the very successful, the new wave of successful Black entrepreneurs. Many of them are actually African immigrants. Is that racist? People take it as such. Why don't you like African Americans? Well, I'm not saying African Americans are bad or not. I'm stating a fact about African immigrants versus African Americans. Now, you might get mad at me. Some people will get mad at me. How dare you? It's because of blah, 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 which you might be right. I'm not even going to fight you on the because. You're probably right. But the data that I said is the true data. So why are you mad at me? If I give the true data, now we can work on fixing the problem because that is a problem. It shouldn't be that way, but it is. So how do we fix it? So Scott does stuff like that. Totally fine with that. I don't mind at all. He's not trying to hurt. That isn't his goal. He's trying to show, or sometimes trying to joke. So that too. Yes. Felicia says, I watch an Indian news network because they're actually unbiased. Yes, some are. Yeah. The AC says, Breaking Point's got too many lifetime members at $1,500 a pop, like 2,500 of them. Yes, but that will eventually go away. I'm not saying they're going on tomorrow. I'm not saying they're going on tomorrow, but I'm saying you can see where it's happening. They were doing this for a long time. They're doing this now. Yeah. So Mastermind House says Kyle does a thing. Yes, he does. Kyle, I'm not a fan of Kyle at all. I'm not a fan. I think he's generally just insults people. I think generally if I were to sit with him and talk to him about, I would make him look very bad. Most of the time, I think I would make him look very bad because he just insults people. However, he's talented. People like him. He's funny. I mean, not to me, but to his group. He knows his people well. He makes them laugh. They like him. He's got how many? Does he have 1 million subscribers? Yeah, I don't know. He's a ton of subscribers. Makes a ton of money. People watch him. And after the election, they flock to him. So no shade. I personally don't like the guy, but look, it's obvious, right? I mean, I can be mad all I want, but yeah, it's just obvious. Yes. So anyway, oh, it's Emily. Thank you. Yes, Emily. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. See, her personality is not strong. She's smart though. Like she's a savvy person, but her personality isn't strong. And if you're gonna be the one who's opposite Crystal, you have to have a strong. Crystal's a ball buster. She has a strong personality. If you're gonna be with her, you really got to be able to deal with that, right? You really got to be able to, otherwise you're gonna be. And Emily just gets rolled over, right, all the time. So yeah. Which just says my least favorite news network is the Young Turks. Cenk is such a narcissist. Yes, but they do hit the right issues. I do watch TYT sometimes because they will hit the right issue. So they will do that. But yes, sometimes Cenk is full of himself, but doesn't mean he's always wrong, right? I'll give Cenk credit. Cenk knew off the bat that the Democrats had to do a primary. He knew Biden was done for off the bat. So you're right, he's a narcissist, but he was also correct, if that makes any sense. And I want to know what's happening, if that makes any sense. So yeah, correct. And I'm going to do a but though. Yes. Peter says, Larry, I recall when Hannity was a talk show host on WGST AM in Atlanta. Sean Hannity then worked his way up and over to WSB FM Atlanta after Neil Bortz, then rushed past and Bortz retired. Yeah, your time. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Janet says, Larry, get the book Fit for Life by Diamond and Diamond. Huge bestseller in the 70s. Makes the case that enzymes to digest complex carbs are antagonists to enzymes to digest M protein. Oh, interesting. Okay, there we go. Roy says, Scott Adams predicted first Trump win based on Trump's incredible persuasion skills. Wrote a book about it worth a read. Yes. Yes. Christina says, Larry, have you considered JP Sears? I have. I've talked to him also. And I go, Larry, how do you know these people? Most of I meet when I'm out doing things. Like if I'm at a libertarian event, Freedom Fest, I go to other events. I go to a YAL event. I'll meet them there. I'm often a speaker there. They're a speaker there. We meet in the green room. That's how I often meet many people. He is just way too busy for a show like mine. You guys tell me how you want me to have more people on the show. I do. And some of them will do it because of personal favor to me. Some will. JP Sears and I are not that close. He's not going to do it we're not close at all. Like he's not my friend. He's not going to. Some people will come on my show because of a personal relationship, because they're my friend, right? JP and I are nowhere near that close. He's not doing it for that. He would do it because there's value or he sees something. The show's not big enough to be forward with you, right? But will he talk to me? Yeah, but he's not going to come on unless there's some reason. Same with Scott Adams. Scott Adams and I are not friends. Like it's not like I'm his buddy and he would do it because I asked him. I wish we were that close. We're not. So he's not going to come on a show because of that. I wish he would. So I need the show to get bigger so that I have more stuff going on. So these people will go, oh, okay, yeah, Larry, I'll come on. Right? That's really the issue. Or they have to be pushing something. Like if JP is writing a new book and he wants to push his book on my show, maybe that would happen. But otherwise, no. Yeah. I love the idea. I like him. We get along. I'm not that close to him. I don't want to. Sometimes I'll tell you things like, I know this guy, or I don't know this guy, or we're friends, or I have no connection at all. I never want to try to name drop if it's not real. JP Sears and I are not buddies. I'm not that I don't want to. He just does the stuff. We're not that. I'm not that way. So I wish we were. That'd be nice. So yes. Yeah. I wish we were. AC says 1.4 million. There we go. Yes. One more. Yeah. I'd love to see you and Kyle. Why would he talk to me though? I'm with you. I would also. I would love it. But he's got how many more millions of people, right? What the problem with that is what he will see this as, AC, is his people will be mad at him because they're going to say, oh, why are you platforming that guy? That's how they're going to see it. But AC, you know me. I will put hardcore leftists on my show. I don't care if I platform them. I don't care. I want to have a good conversation with everybody to the best of my ability. Not everyone actually thinks that. Not just that. Does he want to risk not looking good? And then he platforms me. I'm not sure I would have me on if I was him either. Right? The problem is most people who are left or right are very accustomed to fighting people who are left or right. He will assume I'm some right-wing nut because every lefty thinks I'm a right-wing nut. That's how it works. He will assume that. Then when he will attack me that way, I will show him I'm not that. He will be lost. That's how it works. I've seen it happen 1,000 times. The reverse. Every right-wing person thinks I'm a left-wing nut. That's how that works. They attack me that way, right? Because the right-wingers will go, yeah, but when Obama, and I'll be, I didn't back Obama either. You, what? Yeah. Or the reverse. Well, with Trump, I didn't back Trump either. Well, that's what happens every time. Because most of them will simply attack and insult based upon the last Democrat or Republican who did something stupid, which I was probably against too. So that's the issue. So, any case, P says, I really got turned off by Krista when she interviewed RFK. Yeah, and she's still making the RFK attacks. She hates Trump and all the Trump people, and it's so obvious. And the problem I have with this, not that she hates it, lots of people hate Trump and his people. That's tens of millions of Americans feel that way. I get that. I'm not mad at that. But she's acting so smug about it, like she's the norm. And like, of course you think the way I think. That smugness drives me crazy. Just be who you are. Look, I wear my libertarianism on my sleeve. It's so obvious I'm that. I come that way for everything I talk about. Everything. If you don't know I'm biased, you're not paying attention. That's all I'm saying. Kay-John says, I listen to a lot of sources, but none as balanced, interesting, fun, and logical as Larry. Aw, and no one here is good looking. Also true. Accurate. Also true. Peace is one of those people. AC got a $1,500 a lifetime membership. Yep. One of those people. Yes. But remember, those memberships do wear out at one point. They're lifetime. So it's a one-time hit. Now what are you doing? They have to keep doing it. So yes. Let's see here. Let's see. Adam goes on and says, sometimes young Terps can dig up some gold. Correct. Yes. I sometimes they can. I agree. I do sometimes look at that. 100%. Phil says, I would love to have you. Phil, how are you? I haven't talked to you in forever, brother. Good to see you. I would love to have you interview Bill Maher, Dave Chappelle, and Zoe Saldana. I would love all of them. The problem is I have no connection to any of them. I wish I did. I would travel, pay, do, cancel, whatever to interview Dave Chappelle. Doesn't matter. If he said, Larry, I'm going to be right outside of Burundi, right in the middle of combat between the rebels tomorrow night at 9. Can you be there? Like, on my way. Cancel all my stuff tomorrow. I'm flying to Burundi. Yes, I would do anything if I could interview Dave Chappelle. Yes, on my way. What time? 9? I'll be there. 9 their time, 9 my time. You just tell me I'm going to be there. Don't care. Don't care how much it costs. Don't care. Yes. Bill Maher, I would too. But Dave Chappelle does whatever he wanted, I would say yes to, and I'm doing it. You got to wear a tutu and eat pineapple pizza. Done. We're going to share pineapple pizza. Yes, I'm doing it. Yes. 100%. Yes. Ryan says, cable news outside of News Nation is really, really hard for me to watch. I used to watch Fox Business until they demoted Kennedy and got rid of a show. That's a piece, though, right? When it comes to News Nation, they're one of the best. They are trying to be what CNN used to be. For those of you who are old enough, CNN back in the late 80s, early 90s kind of was the normal, regular, just like, okay, there's a volcano that happened or a tornado. They were a regular news station. They gave regular news. They really weren't, they were not, obviously were biased, but they were nowhere near as biased as they happened. They started in the late 90s, 2000s, and then, oh my God, Trump, that was the end. I mean, they went hard. But prior to that, you go late 80s, early 90s, CNN was like a regular news station. News Nation is trying to be that. And they're not bad. Again, it's relative. They're not bad. But the other thing I like about them is when they have a bias, it's a mix, right? When I was on, I've been on their shows a couple times. And often I'm the third person, which I love. Lefty, righty, and me. So good. Lefty, righty, and me is great. If you look at my page, you'll see a couple of times when I was on some of their shows. I do go on their shows. I'm on their morning show on Sunday once, a couple of late night shows. So I go on their shows every once in a while. So yeah, absolutely. All righty. Yeah, P says Dave Chappelle's awesome, the GOAT of comedy. Yes. That is accurate. 100%. Yes. Chrissy says Larry eating pineapple pizza. If Chappelle wants, yes. Yes. Wouldn't think anything to get Chappelle. Doesn't matter. Yes, yes, and yes. That's all I'm saying. So, guys, I want to ask one more time if I could. Please click the button known as like. I ask you all the time because it matters. Share and repost it if you haven't already. You guys want me to grow? I want to grow too. So let me grow. Help me grow. Share this in the Facebook groups. Share this in other places. The more you share it, the better. Follow me on X, Rumble, and Facebook because the more you follow me, the more they think it's great. Click that button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo so that Mr. Rhythm, Al Gore Rhythm, that person decides, hey, we should share this out. More people should see it. That's important. It does matter. I want to thank you all for your super chats and rumbles. Membership, if you want to, $49 per month. Click that join button, become a member. I appreciate it if you can. Help us move things forward. And I will start looking at some of these if I can. Remember, tomorrow, I have scientist and author Mike Changizi, talking about the far right and far left woke. The far right woke and the far left woke. Oh, you guys get triggered. I hope so. It should be a fun show. I'm trying to get more guests also. So I'm going to ask you right now, if you could, please put in the chat after this is done, after I've stopped, after it's over, please put in the chat who you think I should be interviewing or have a show with or be on the show that maybe I could get. That would be nice. I could get. I love Dave Chappelle. I'm not getting Dave Chappelle, but someone who I think I could actually get, that would be great. I appreciate it tremendously. Guys, I'll be back on tomorrow, as I said, with Mark Changizi, 7 p.m. Also, by the way, tomorrow, special regret, 3 p.m., I'll be having a special Libertarians Drinking Coffee Live only on Larry Sharpe stuff. If you guys want to hear a Libertarian, I will have John Marioni on. He's running for the Libertarian nomination for governor of New Jersey. So it'll be interesting, 3 p.m. if you want to watch that. I will see you all very soon.